calculator is blood Epstein. What is blood doing with those numbers? Is he tongue to her, or is he a sus women's or an anti-furry making base dark memes? Wait, I think I know what he's typing now. Wait, 6, 7. What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Einstein? What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Epstein? I think this Diddy blood is Epstein. I think this Diddy blood is Einstein. I think we are gonna turn him into Copy Lane mechanism. What is this Diddy blood doing? What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Einstein? What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Epstein? What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Einstein? What is this Diddy blood doing on the calculator? Is blood Epstein? Banana fun ding ding dong. Banana fun. Banana.
Time to play! No? Well, time to die! Cause I'm not nice! No, I'm not nice! I'll shoot you in the face till I make you die! Watch me shoot my secret cannon! Put bombs in your belongings! They call me the bomb thief! The way I disperse grief! And I don't like to play by the rules! So in my factory you will be doomed! Mimic!
My name is Edwin. I made the mimic. It was difficult to put the pieces together. But unfortunately, something went so wrong, and now I can't do anything but sing this stupid song. My name is Edwin. 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 Edwin.
It's time to run and run. Time to fight. It's time to run and run. Time to fight.
My name is
It's time to run and run. Time to fight. It's time to run and run. Time to fight.
My name is David. Dad, I want some ice cream. David, that is my name. David, I want another. David, where is my ball? I'm running out on the road. There is a car, and it is going to hit me. My name is a fucking mimic. Oh yeah, my name is a fucking mimic. Oh yeah. My name is a fucking mimic. Oh yeah, my name is a fucking mimic. Oh yeah. My name is Jackie, and I'm fucking Becky. Yeah, cause with my clown power, I am gonna make you scream louder. It's a clown attack, bitch. The circus is coming to town. So sit your ass down and get ready for a clown attack.
no, not the clown. What have I done? I'm sorry.
Time to fight.
Robot deactivated.
Stop playing with them, Riot.
Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Off the wake up, I'm feeling my best. I bend over, I do my little stretch. Ain't a jellyfish, but I'm the catch. Feel like that fish, so I'm pumping my chest. I blow bubbles so big like Mrs. Puff. I be locked in like no, this isn't luck. Eating fancy like no, this isn't chump. With my bestie like everything fun. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big things bout to happen a day. I woke up feeling a brand new way. Facing the world in a brand new way. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Tight fit, square hips. Doing a dance in my big guy pants. The baddest, the top of the list I am. And on my purse, they came fresh out of clam. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Off the wake up, I'm feeling my best. Big things bout to happen a day. I bend over, I do my little stretch. I woke up feeling a brand new way. Ain't a jellyfish, but I'm the catch. Facing the world in a brand new way. Feel like that fish, so I'm pumping my chest. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
Yeah. You wanna play with your Mario game? I had a big Rames as a big Tames. Cause Mario might be super, but I'm super duper with a big tuber. Cause no one's gonna hit it like me, cause Mario has a big C. But I got the A+ on that test because it's a big mess. Mario might be a Superman, but I'm gonna have a big tan. He might have went to the past, to the future, but I'm gonna make the new game have the neutral. Man, the Mario can't play like the T-dubs on the May. Man, you wanna hit it down with the big town? Man, he can't be like the big Brown. My boy Emo, he has a Simo. And Seth and Emo, once they get together, they're gonna be the team of the meme. You see, my boy Seth, he can rap like the meth. That's on the test. Man, you can't even hit it with a big nest. Man, you can't beat him because he's gonna see him. Man, he's gonna hit it down with a big town. I'm gonna make it round. I had a big town in A-town. I came from a place named Charlotte. My boy Kevin Bartolacci, he's gonna hit it down like a Bartolacci. He can skateboard like the top boy Tony Hawk. But you think Tony Hawk's so cool, well Kevin got some more of the follets. He's gonna unfold it like the toilet. Man, once that man made the toilet, everybody thought it was so awesome. But it's gonna be a toss-em up between my boy Kevin and that man. And see, today is the day that I'm gonna play the game with the big brain. I'm gonna show you what's up and what's not up, because it's going down in my town. You write me down in your books, because I'm gonna have the hooks of the big chicks. Man, all the ladies want me, but it's gonna be a game that plays the rain of the Mario. See, he is a princess, but I get all the others. Hot princesses. He wants one, I want all the others because it's gonna be a sucker. See, I'm the pimpin' man of the big rant, and you wanna be in the band. Well, I'll be your main man to get you out of that rant. Because it's coming down with the town. Everybody knows it's gonna be found in the big round town. Play this, boys, cause it's nothing with the toys. Kinda quit playing with your toys, cause the Mario ain't even an Atario. You wanna play the Barrio? I have the toys of the Moors, and everybody knows it's coming down with the toys of the boys. Man, my boys don't even play with games anymore. They're on the reins of the dames. Man, you wanna hit it down with the town. I had a big brown. I had a big town of a bound. I rebound that ball and shoot it. I'm gonna make it because I'm the top dog. Man, when they want something good, they come to me. Because I'm gonna be like the sea, fast and nice. But I make it, hit it up like a little spice.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, ah. Drake, swalla la la. Drake, swalla la la, swalla la la, swalla la la. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, ah. Drake, swalla la la. Drake, swalla la la, swalla la la, swalla la la.
你家 Chinese baby 手中中国 you are 你家 Chinese baby 手中中国 you are 你家 Chinese baby 手中中国 you are 你家 Chinese baby 手中中国 you
Hello, everybody. Looks like people are still coming into the stream, so let's do a little bit of a warm-up real quick. Let's do this. Let's play the stream music playlist that actually, sounds good. Alright, can you guys hear me fine? Chat. Hello? Are we good? I guess I'm gonna have to listen to it myself. Let's do a little bit of a warm-up real quick. Let's do this. Let's play the stream music. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Play it, gang. Okay, we are so Barack. Alright, here we go. This is everything I've read this year, everything I've watched this year, everything I've played this year. Not all of it is to completion. For example, I still haven't finished Chaos Head Noah. There are some routes in 100 line that I just do not think that I'm going to be completing, like, Serial Battles route. That just doesn't interest me to any degree. But I've done the vast majority of almost all of them. I mean, I've completed basically everything except for those two that I just named. And also, I haven't completed stuff that isn't out yet, so I guess I haven't finished Deltarune. But you know what, let's do this. Effie Guesser. Let's do this one first. Just as a warm-up. Let's start off with my starter character. What color is Peleus's hair? Ooh, that's tough. I think it's it's purple. He's a male character that uses one of these. Comes from before Sacred Stone, so we can go Effie 4. It's unpromoted Effie 4. So let's pick no-ish. Because this will cover us. Oh, it's not even cavalry. Oh, that's interesting. Is there a foot unit that can use more than one weapon type? And it's a male unit too. So I think it would have to be, because here's the thing, it's not an armored unit, so it's not like Arden or some shit like that. So it would have to be either a sword unit or an axe unit, because there's no foot lancers in this game. Let's go for Holland. Okay, it is a sword unit, released before Genealogy. They're not promoted or unpromoted. What does that mean? I guess maybe it's a trainee? Tobin? What do you mean it's not promoted, unpromoted, or a trainee, dude? You're actually pissing me off. What could it possibly mean? Is it a unique class line? Who the fuck even uses this? Is it Zane? Mathis. No, that's not what I meant to. I meant to do Julian. I don't know why it said Mathis. Okay, Julian. Okay, it is a thief. So it's just Rickard. Jesus Christ, that was impossible. All right, recruit him. Bring him in. Single stage class, I guess so. All right. We're getting into it. Alright, the streets have voted. We are going to be splitting up when we rank ReZero. Alright, let's try to split it up a little bit then. Let's do like one here. One like here. One here. Like here. One like here. You know what? I guess I'll pair these up with the if routes that go along with them. So Arc 1 goes with that. Arc 2 goes with this if route. Arc 3 goes with this one. Arc 4 goes with this one. There is no Arc 5 if route because Arc 5 is fraudulent. Arc 6 goes with this one. Arc 9. This one is Arc 7. This one is Arc 9. Where the hell is Arc 9? Arc 9 right here. Okay. The if routes are pretty easy to handle, so we can just handle it like that. Remember when 3 Thieves couldn't promote? Yeah, it wasn't that far. It wasn't that long ago, to be perfectly honest. Alright, today we are going to be starting off with, I guess we're starting off with this one. So this is our ranking. We got astounding, great, good, middle range, little bad, bad, really bad. And you know what? I'm adding a row below here for god awful. I don't even know if anything's gonna even fit into this, but I do like naming a tier god awful just because it's really like visceral. It hits you in there. Anyways, moving on. Let's get started with this one. This is it's like I buy my classmate for 5,000 yen a week or something like that. Basically, this girl right here, the one on the left, she's like super moody and like she's giga avoidant. She has really big problems with people that care about her and caring about other people because she worries that she's gonna lose them, and she sort of ropes this girl into like a relationship where she gives her like 5,000 yen like once a week, and then they meet up and then do a bunch of shit, and then eventually it becomes like more and more like horny and also romantic, and then eventually they get into a very like deep situationship. I'm in like I'm in like arc 2 basically, part 2, which is basically, first part was like when they were in high school and a bunch of shit happened, and now they've moved together in college. I will say, this shit is compelling, man. You can really feel the texture of the characters, and how they relate to each other. There's only a few side characters, so really, like Miyagi and, fuck, I forgot the other girl's name. Hold up. Okay, Miyagi and Sendai are very well realized with each other, and it's interesting to see, like, it's truly a relationship where they both, like, try to jockey for control over who has who's wearing the pants in the relationship, and I find it very interesting, and it's a very compelling read too. They do fuck a couple times, and it is like a moment of intense catharsis whenever they do, because they actually are like, they're doing genuinely, they're like, the first chapter is like her sucking on her toes, so it's like, okay, dude. So it's clearly like a little fetishy, so you have to accept that, but I would put this in the good tier. It was a little bit frustrating because when they go to college, their relationship sort of gets like soft reset, in the sense that like they have to like work back up into being, because like Miyagi starts using this excuse that, oh, they're just roommates so they can't do anything, because once they move to college they stop doing the yen trade thing. They just start like living together as roommates in the same college. So actually, I don't know if they don't go to the same college. Miyagi like sort of uses that as like an excuse to become more distant with Sendai, and Sendai's like, that's not happening, I am insanely down bad for you, I need to fuck you. And it is fun seeing how down bad she gets. It's a good time. So this year I reread all of Ascendance of a Bookworm. How many fucking volumes is it? Analyst Ascendance of a Bookworm. Not the anime, so it's 3 volumes, part 1, 7 total. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 9, oh my god, 21. 21 plus 12, it's 30. I read 33 volumes of this, Jesus Christ. Okay, so for those who don't know, Ascendance of a Bookworm is about this girl. She gets isekai'd into this world as a really frail child, and her thing is that she fucking loves to read. Reading is like her thing. She loves reading more than anything else in the world. before she isekai'd over, she was kind of antisocial, but not in the sense that she was just like, not in the sense that she was necessarily maladjusted, though she was a little bit maladjusted, more in the sense that she just really liked, she was just like a kind of person that kept to herself. However, in this world, books are not like a constant thing. Like, normal people don't get access to books, and she, you know, gets like taken over as like a commoner's kid, so she doesn't have access to books, and she has to like use knowledge of technology from our world to try to like progress the situation in her world, so she can get enough power in the world to get access to books and create printing presses and stuff that create books. It's basically like Dr. Stone, except they're scaling book, like, it's not like science scaling, it's like book production scaling. That's how I put it. At least that's how it is for the first 2 arcs for sure. The first arc, I would say, it's middle range. It doesn't really get into what makes the world interesting until like the very, very, very end. The whole thing is that her sickliness comes from like mana sickness, and she has like issues with like mana, and that's something that normal commoners can't really do, and normally only like nobles have a bunch of mana, and so she has to like grapple with the fact that she has to like leave her family, but that doesn't happen in this arc. We just get the seeds of that this arc. In fact, I would even put it in Little Bad. That's actually a pretty interesting concept for an isekai. It's pretty good. I don't know if I would recommend reading the entire thing, because there's a lot of like bloat in it, but I think we're on like season 4 of the anime or something, so if you want to watch it, be my guest. I don't think it's high quality enough in general to be like, I just don't think it's generally high quality enough to say that, to be like, oh, you need to read this. No, with ReZero, like, you kind of do need to read it. With this, you can just watch it. Let's see, sequel, Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 3 covers also Part 2. Okay, so we're on Season 4 of Ascendance of a Bookworm, which is going to be 24 episodes, and it seems like it's covering Part 3. So Part 1 and Part 2 are covered already. Anyways, Part 2 is probably, like, one of my favorites. She basically has to get conscripted into the church, because the church has these, like, special devices that they can use to reduce her mana sickness, and so she doesn't fucking die. And then she meets this guy, Ferdinand, and he's like the secondary main character. He's basically like her, except like they have very similar sensibilities. They're both like insanely nerdy, but he's really tsundere about it. But yeah, this is where she starts seeing like the ills of the world. Like, for example, the orphanage system in the world that she transfers to, Ehrenfrest, is like really fucked up and exploitative, and it really like the nobles are able to like sexually assault the priests and harass them with no recompense, because the priests just like have no way of paying them back. At least the commoner priests. Noble priests have a lot more say, and yeah, it's pretty fucked up what it's set up. And her whole thing is that because she has so much mana, she can't be just given the role of like a regular ass priest. So she's given like a higher up role, which starts off with her being like a figurehead, but because her mana is so high, she's able to leverage that into making the church a better place for these orphans. And this orphanage plotline is carried out throughout the entire rest of the series. Similarly to how she's still working on like the printing press stuff here. There's a lot of fun stuff with her recruiting a bunch of different it's like the fun parts of Dr. Stone, where Senku's like recruiting like the Smith guy and telling him a bunch of cool shit that they're gonna do. There's all that kind of stuff too. But generally speaking, I probably put it down good. Generally speaking, I think it's a good part. Arc 3 is the first like noble arc. So at the end of Arc 2, there's like some bullshit that happens, which makes it so that she can no longer be just a regular old not shrine, just a regular old like person working like a bishop working at the church. She has to get adopted by a nobleman, and she originally thinks that she's going to get adopted by like this guy called Karstedt, who's like his cousin, I think, his cousin, except she ends up getting adopted by the entire like the leader of the entire area, and she now has to like grapple with life as a noble. It's actually pretty fun. This arc, I would say, is like, it's a calm before the storm. Oh my god. That's not what I meant to do. I would say this arc, like, it establishes the politics of the area. It establishes this plot line about how like a decade or two ago, there was like a big schism in the area, and what like the traders all had to be killed because they were a threat to the region, and as a result, because all the traders were nobles, now the region is like really lacking in mana, and they need mana to like make sure that because the kingdom exists on like a desert, and the only reason they were able to make the place habitable is because the mana of the nobles is used to pour it into the land and make it more like bountiful and stuff like that. And so this is all established in this arc, and it's done reasonably well, and there's still a bunch of the book creation stuff. Arc 4, I'm gonna be honest, this arc is fucking bad, gang. Like, this is, she gets sent to, like, the school. Like, it's like a Harry Potter analog where she gets sent to the noble school where they learn about magic and a bunch of other shit. It gets really, really, really lost in the weeds. Like, it is 9 volumes where I think 3 volumes are actually important. I do not think this is good at all. She gets a little bit closer to, like, oh my god, what the fuck? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, well, thankfully I remember everything that I put in here. Hold up. Okay, let's go. This was in... Oh my god, I gotta go. Motherfucker. Astounding. Great. Good. Wait, what is it? Give me a second. I gotta fucking rewind a little bit. I gotta stop pressing random buttons is what I'm realizing. Astounding, great, good, middle... Okay. Middle range. We got, little bad, really bad... God awful. Okay. No, it's little bad, bad, really bad, god awful. Okay. We got little bad, bad, really bad, god awful. Okay. Let's go ahead and color these in accordingly. We can go like this. And then we can go god awful is this. Okay. I remember exactly where this was. This was in great. No, this was in good. Arc 1 was in little bad. Arc 1's not little bad. Arc 1's middle range. Arc 2 is, like, good. This goes to great, I feel like. This one is... No, this one goes to great. This is, like, bad. Like, no, this is Arc 5. Arc 5 is good. This one is just bad. Like, I can't defend it. It just meanders on for way too long. I just don't think that it's that compelling within the greater narrative, because I feel like they don't bother trying to fucking make it compelling. If they tried a little bit harder, I think that it would be a lot more interesting. But the problem is there's just so much, like, wishy-washy, like posturing in the nobility. The political world of Ascendance of a Bookworm is very well realized, but that doesn't mean that it's not necessarily a good thing, because in the sense that it's very realized, it's also, just like real-world politics, kind of fucking boring. There's a lot of, like, proper noun slop, where, like, you just get fed so much bullshit, and, like, so many just names and places and stuff like that, and oh my god, Arc 4 is when the character bloat really starts to be felt. Ascendance of a Bookworm has, like, genuinely 0 characters that leave the plot. Or rather, like, by the end of the series, you will go to, like, the opening page of the book that has all the characters in it, and there's legitimately, like, 70 characters in it. It's so fucking ridiculous. I think ReZero is sort of approaching that part, approaching that degree, but a lot of them are, like, side story exclusive characters, or characters we know that exist, but Tape himself has confirmed that these characters are not really going to be playing a large role in the main plot, and as a result, we're all kind of like, okay, it's kind of strange, but, like, we're okay with it, I guess. Move the Saihate station here. No, that's the wrong one. This is the one with Shala. Let's put after the Spider-Man movie, we can put Arc 7, this, and then we'll put Arc 8. Where the fuck is Arc 8? Arc 8 can go, like, right here, I guess. And then Arc 9 is gonna go here. We'll put this with Sasukeru. And then where the hell is Arc 10? Arc 10, Arc 10, Arc 10. Arc 10 is over here. We'll be fine. Okay. Moving back to it. This takes us to Arc 5. This is, I feel like, this has just as much bloat as Arc 4, but this actually, like, fucking goes somewhere. In fact, I would actually bump this down and put this in here. I just think that this arc is, like, it's a conclusion to the series. Part of Arc 3 and Arc 4 that kind of disappointed me is that I really like the scrappy young girl spends a lot of time working on creating books thing. But I think that Ascendance of a Bookworm kind of evolved past that to being a larger, like, political narrative, and I was kind of disappointed by that. And the fact that Arc 4 was, like, low quality in general was also not helpful to that goal whatsoever. I just did not like it at all. And I sort of soured on it, but then eventually I came back with, because I took a break on Ascendance of Bookworm right as Arc 5 started being published. And so I came back once Arc 5 was done this year, and I read through all of it, and I was like, okay, I think that I sort of get the vision. There's a lot of, like, action set pieces in here, which are sort of interesting, but there's a lot of, like, ties back to previous arcs. For example, there's, like, a sport called Dinner in the world of Ascendance of a Bookworm. That's, like, you basically have to, like, go and, like, kill a bunch of monsters or, like, steal loot or whatever. And there's, like, an extreme version of it that sort of got outlawed because it was super dangerous, and all the nobles got killed because of the purge that I talked about in Arc 3. And they set up a game of treasure stealing dinner due to, like, extreme circumstances in Arc 3, and you're like, oh, that's like a fun little set piece. However, in Arc 5, the final battle sort of plays out like a game of treasure stealing dinner, where they get to, those exact rules are, like, applied, because the way that, because the end of the series is, like, two different counties fighting against each other, and the way that it ends up working in the world is that there's, like, a special stone that if you get the stone, you gain control of the county, and that's fundamentally similar to this treasure stealing stuff, and so it ends up being, like, come back into play. There's a bunch of stuff like that, and the plot resolves better than it actually, like, is. I feel like the resolution of the plot is fairly decent, but I feel like I spent way more time on this than I needed to. How much time have I spent on this? That's like 10 minutes. That's not bad. Okay, moving on. This is, I have had my brain taken over. Who here has read or watched or heard of ReZero in the chat? Speak up if you have. Oh, let me change this to the live chat. This media stole my hack story outline. I would blow my shit smooth off later. Okay, you know what? You know, you are entitled to do that, I guess. ReZero is... It's like the first isekai that I read where I was like, oh, maybe like isekai as a genre isn't totally doomed. Might have heard of it? Yeah, okay, presses. I originally read ReZero, I think, in 2020, 2021, something like that. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I watched, like, the first 12 episodes of Season 1. Happy birthday, Daniel! Exactly, that's what ReZero is. You really don't need to understand more than that. I watched, like, 12 episodes of the first season. I was like, I watched, like, 7 episodes of the first season. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then I was like, okay, well, this is moving pretty slowly for me. I just want to read it. So I read Volume 1 all the way up to, like, Volume 12, 13. I got to Arc 4. And then in the middle of Arc 4, I was like, holy fuck, this is taking way too long. And I just quit. Oh, fuck, I forgot to give my disclaimer. Let me just give my disclaimer here. Okay. First of all, I think everybody should be aware of this. This is a very personal opinion-based tier list, because it's my tier list, so I should be, like, you know, it would be kind of dishonest for me to try to rate it based on some ridiculous sense of, like, objectivity when that's not really possible. And a lot of this is about personal impact. These last 3 years of my life have been the 3 worst years of my life by far, and it's not even close. I've gone through so much pain, so much struggle, and just been hurt so much over these last few years that, to some degree, my escapism has informed a lot of what I love about reading these days. Like, this means... Like, ReZero fucking means something to me. Deltarune means something to me. Muramasa means something to me. So, like, I'm gonna be you should expect me to start saying some shit that's, like, that feels a little bit out of left field, but, like, understand that's coming from a place of genuine emotion. Let's start off with ReZero Arc 1. ReZero Arc 1 is, like, a fairly solid, self-contained arc. I think that it gives you a sort of decent idea of what ReZero is going to be like. The fact that there's more shit going on, like, you don't know how Subaru got isekai. Like, most isekai, they're like, okay, in Sword Art Online, it's like, okay, I signed up for Sword Art Online, and then fucking, what is it, Akaba or whatever? No, Kayaba. How do I remember his name. Oh my god. He like shut down the servers, except everybody's trapped there now. It's time to fight. In a lot of other ReZeros, it's like, oh, Truck-kun got me. Stuff like that. Whereas in ReZero, you don't know how Subaru got into Lagunica. You don't know why he has returned by death. You don't know any of that shit. And it establishes very, very early on that there's a lot of shit going on, and your ass is gonna have to pay attention. The one bad thing I think about this arc is that I think that it's obviously short, but I'm not gonna hold that against it, because I really like actually how short it is, and I feel like that's something that's a little bit lost in later arcs. I think ReZero Arc 1 is a little bit not great at establishing how much ReZero is going to challenge you as a reader. You cannot come into ReZero as a passive reader. You just cannot. If you try to read ReZero totally passively and you go, oh, I'm just gonna experience this as it is, you are not going to get far with it. There's going to be some part that just doesn't make any sense to you, and you are going to turn it off and move on. ReZero is excellent. It is also an extremely challenging read, because you really do have to understand that your preconceived notions are fucking bullshit here. You have to accept that. And ReZero Arc 1, I think, is really good at establishing the mental struggle that Subaru has with death. It's good at establishing a lot of the large players, big players in Lagunica. You know, I'm talking about Reinhard, Emilia, Felt, Subaru himself, establishing some of the basic concepts, return by death, stuff like that. Like spirit communication. I don't think it does a lot more than that. I think that ReZero arcs 1 through 4 are like much more of a self-contained story arc than the rest of ReZero. But I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's actually fairly solid. Moving on. Okay, so all of these images that have these two guys sitting there, this is all if ReZero, what are called if stories. So every year on Subaru's birthday, April 1st, Tape Nagatsuki, the author of ReZero, puts out a side story about a what-if situation. Like, what if Subaru did this one thing, and the story unfolded in a different way. Typically, for the first little bit, they were related to some of the 7 deadly sins. For example, this is the Pride if, Ayamatsu. This is a story about if in ReZero Arc 1, Subaru sees that he can't defeat Elsa and sees Reinhard defeat her effortlessly and is unable to let go of his pride at the situation and tries to do everything he can and abuse his ability to gain some control over the world in a prideful manner. In the main plot of ReZero, Subaru does not give in to these temptations and is able to move past that level of pride and become a better person. These are about the stories about what happens if Subaru doesn't do that. A lot of these are much more easy, like the Arc 3 and Arc 4, Arc 6, and Arc 9, if stories make a lot more sense. Like, this if story kind of is just like, oh, I guess that's an if now. But, I would say Pride if is basically about Subaru doing a Code Geass bit where he markets himself, he joins the witch cult, he markets himself as the Sin Archbishop of Pride. No? Yeah, Pride, because Pride's seat is empty, and he basically becomes an enemy of the world in order to eventually be defeated by the Emilia camp and result in her being the boss. He does a bunch of genuinely terrible shit, and it's like super parasocial and awful, and it's bad-end media, and I love bad-end media, but I feel like this is not realized in a way that I would like it to. Unfortunately, when you're basing something off of Arc 1 exclusively, there's just not that much to work with. ReZero gains a lot more depth by the time it reaches Arc 4, so I feel like basing this, like, it's like Subaru, Elsa, Betelgeuse, Regulus, and like that's about it. Like, genuinely, there's not that many characters in this. Oh, Emilia's also there, and Reinhard, I guess, but like there's not that many characters. I feel like I think the general concept is good. I just think that the wasting a sin as important to Subaru and the plot of ReZero as Pride on this is a little bit sus. I just feel like they could have redone it a little bit better, especially because there's another version of this kind of if where Subaru becomes like a fucking deranged lunatic and starts doing crazy shit. That's just straight up better than Pride if, which we'll talk about later. Moving on to Deltarune. Alright, I got a fucking bone to pick with you, Tricky Tony. Deltarune, I feel like it can't decide whether it's trying to be a single story that you should be playing all at once, or whether it's designed to be played one chapter at a time. Because I swear to God, there's some callbacks to this shit that genuinely, like, I remember playing Deltarune Chapter 3, like, 6 years after Deltarune Chapter 1 or some shit like that, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea what's going on. And, it's not that I didn't have any idea what's going on, because, like, it's pretty hard to forget Deltarune. Deltarune is a fairly memorable plot, but there's just, like, some random callbacks to shit in Chapter 1 and 2 that I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, that I had to replay the game to figure out. I did a full replay of the game this year, and I feel like it plays a lot better when you replay it, but also, like, it's kind of frustrating that you have to replay it, because there's not a lot of, like, there's a lot of segments, like, for example, when, at the end of each chapter, and also nowadays in the middle of chapters or just whenever, when Chris tosses you out of their body and starts like moving around, they move around so fucking slowly, and it takes so much time for those cutscenes to end. Sorry, the music was way too quiet. I think that those segments being, I really hope that by the time we get to Chapter 7, Toby Fox does some shit to make it so you can actually, like, skip some of these cutscenes, because holy fuck, they take so much goddamn time. Chapter 1, there's a lot of, like, really small stuff that I feel like it doesn't carry over in ReZero that well. Like, for example, the targeting system in Chapter 1. In Chapter 1 of Deltarune, enemies target a specific character, so an enemy will attack you and it'll show you like, oh, target Susie, so Susie's gonna take, I think, the brunt of the damage this attack. That shit just doesn't happen anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, that just doesn't happen. And there's a lot of like other small stuff that I kind of had to like be patched back into Chapter 1, but in general, I would say that Chapter 1 of Deltarune is good. The music is good, the vibes are good, the boss fights and the gameplay mechanics are fairly fun. It's not innovative, but I mean, it's the fucking first chapter. Compared to Undertale, it's really innovative. It draws a lot of parallels with Undertale, obviously, but I think at the time we didn't really know enough to figure out how the fuck that was gonna go, generally speaking. I think that this is a solid chapter, though I think that it's sort of been like pushed to the side. It's been pushed to the side in later chapters, and I feel like that's kind of frustrating. Like, for example, we've gotten so much goddamn lore about Spamton and Tenna and Gerson and whatnot. I don't think Jevil has been mentioned once since Chapter 1, outside of that one time in Chapter 5 where Ralsei says that he really likes the birds that show up in Jevil's act or whatever. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I digress. You know what? Let me play the fucking Deltarune OST. This shit goes great. Okay, let's play. Okay, Chapter 2, I feel like it starts to really get a lot of the structure of Deltarune. For example, also, recruitment is a thing that just isn't in Chapter 1, but I guess. Chapter 2 introduces you to just genuinely, I would say this is like a great Deltarune chapter. Like, one of the best. Chapter 2 has a lot of gameplay, but it also has a ton of plot. You get more into Noelle and Birdly as characters. You get a little bit more information about what the Night is and the Roaring Night is, what really constitutes a fountain. You get a lot more hints and, like, almost basically confirmations about what constitutes a Darkener. Like, Susie still doesn't understand it, but Susie's low-key dumb as bricks, so, that's not really a good barometer to go by. Like, Ralsei, like, explicitly spells it out to Susie in Chapter 3, but moving on. Chapter 2 is the best Deltarune chapter just because of Queen and Birdly. A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people say that Smart Race is the best motif in Deltarune history, and it's a fucking shame that Birdly hasn't come back yet. What are you doing, Tricky Tony? Bring back our little blue boy. I think the fact that this chapter introduces Spamton, who's going to be very important later on, has a bunch of, like, stuff behind the scenes, like how the unused voice in the code speaks out to you through Spamton's dialogue sometimes. It reintroduces Birdly and Noelle, obviously. It's the start of the fucking weird route, for the love of God. Like, that's obviously, like, something. That's something. And the songs go fucking crazy. To this day, I'm pretty sure Big Shot is still, like, the most listened to song Toby Fox has put out, short of exactly Megalovania. Genuinely, I think that's the case. It's a banger, dude. Like, it's just a ton of fun. The shooting mechanics that was like the best soul form in Undertale to begin with. So the fact that they brought it back is a ton of fun. The Spamton boss fight is just like, enjoyable. Like, I don't know how else to put it. The rules card fighting on the pirate ship stuff is it's just a blast. Going through the chapter, oh my god, when they hit you with this song, hold up. When they hit you with this song, let me see. When they hit you with this song, that's how you know shit's going down. This is like maybe the best Final Palace song in Deltarune. It's close. And the reason it's close is because Chapter 3 is my favorite fucking chapter of Deltarune. It is so goddamn good. I thought this was a stream ranking your own content, so I came to see where your cover of Hey There Delilah fell on it. I would say my cover of Hey There Delilah would fall in the great tier because it brought me a bunch of joy, but in terms of general quality of it, it was really like a low quality, but I'm glad that people enjoyed it, to be perfectly honest. I wish it got as much traction on YouTube as it got on Twitter, but I digress. Chapter 3 of Deltarune is so fucking good, dog. I feel like I am taking crazy pills when I go online and I see people bashing on Chapter 3. Like, do we play the same chapter? Like, first of all, the lore drops with the sword route and the minigame behind the real minigame is to this day some of the most interesting shit we've seen in Deltarune. You get to, like, Tenna shows you a bunch of bullshit. He gives you, like, the backstory about Des. You get more explicitly spelled out what a Darkener is and what they constitute. You get the relationship, what situationship between Tenna and Spamton and their backstory and how that potentially relates to Friend. The egg room gives you so much more intel. Oh my god. For the love of God, you fight the goddamn Roaring Knight in this chapter. Are you insane? Late Night is the best chapter of Deltarune we've seen so far, and it is not close. It is so goddamn good. There's just... Chapter 3, when I played it, it just was oozing and radiating fun. And that's one thing that I feel like really matters to me in Deltarune. It's that, like... It's like, when you play it and you go, oh, this game is actually, like, trying to be a fun game in addition to telling a story. That's one thing that I really, really like about Chapter 3, is that it tells a story, it gives you more interesting information, while also still being fucking interesting. Like, you're not messing around doing bullshit. Also, this is a chapter where Ralsei explains to you what a dark fountain even is, like the darker than dark stuff like that. Like, that's so fucking important. And also, this song starts playing. This is probably my favorite. Like, Final Castle theme, but it's either this or Pandora Palace. Holy fuck, what a banger. Let me crank that shit up a little bit, gang. I love Tenna's music. I love the way he presents himself. The fact that he's like a 3D model in the 2D space. It's just fun. Like, sue me. It's just fun. Dear God. I don't feel like I don't need to defend myself. Chapter 4 is just like Chapter 2 fucking great. The mini roaring being induced. Ralsei's like insane internal turmoil. Susie's character development with Gerson. And Gerson's introduction as a character. The way that it's leading into Chapter 5. It is extremely good. The light world, what is it? What the fuck is it called? The light world segment where you're sneaking around in the house. Oh my god, this is legitimately there. I never cried at Undertale. And I did not cry at Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3 of Deltarune. The only thing in Deltarune to this day that has gotten me to even tear up a little bit is when you go to Chris's, when you're sneaking around in the Noel family, in the Holiday family mansion, and you hear the Chris's empty husk playing piano so joyfully, there's just something so impossibly sad about that scene that I just started tearing up a little bit. This chapter is actually fucking gas. I just think that the rest of the actual Dark World segments are a tiny little bit uninspired. Like, a lot of the, like, almost every single Dark World segment has to do, and, like, every single, like, mechanic has to do with the whole, increasing the light stuff, which is fine. It's not bad by any means, let's say, but it's not what I'm here for, let's be honest here. Compare that to like the minigame stuff in Chapter 3 or all the 2D platforming in Chapter 5. Like, it's not even close. Okay. This is where I make some enemies. Chapter 5 is a little bad. I'm sorry. this chapter genuinely does not progress the plot to any meaningful degree whatsoever. Here's what I'll tell you. I'm not gonna act like, and I'm not being dishonest here. Chapter 5, in terms of what it does for the plot, is it gives you a little bit of a vague post about what the original event that made Asgore like verboten in hometown or whatever is. That's valuable. That's very, very good. And that's the kind of stuff we need to see. Number 2, in the weird route, you get confirmation about what the fuck the Undertale image that says "Don't Forget" on it. You get confirmation about where that came from, which implies that maybe Undertale is canon to the weird route's ending. I don't know. Number 3, there is a ton of great character development with Ralsei and Flowery acting as foils to one another. The idea of Ralsei, Flowery knowing that he's not human, and that he's doomed to die, but believing in his dream enough to want to see it through regardless. That little speech he has with Ralsei about how if Ralsei cares that much about the roaring, we should get rid of Castletown instead. And they're all saying, everybody's like, obviously that's not going to happen. And Flowery's like, I know it's not going to happen, but haven't you thought about why you're unwilling to do something like that? Isn't that kind of fucked up of you? And then it really does challenge your beliefs as a player. I think that's very important. The fucking gameplay is gas. Oh my god, the 2D segments rule. Pink, Pink as a boss is fucking awesome. Flowery as a boss is also 10 out of 10. Like, genuinely great. I think that all of that shit knocks it out of the park. The problem is that I have now told you... I think there's like a little bit more. There's a lot more like stuff confirming, like for example the fact that the Starwalker in this chapter is the final Starwalker. There's a lot more stuff like that confirms sort of that that like this is the last like normal chapter before shit really starts going. Like obviously the fact that there's 5 dark crystals, the final Starwalker shows up in this chapter. The Eggman says that there's only 5 eggs and there's no more eggs to find. There's a bunch of shit in there that like it's kind of ominous for chapter 6. But the problem is that, like, everything that I've told you is the extent of everything that happens. Like, there's, like, nothing happens in this chapter. Like, I'm not saying that every single Deltarune chapter needs to be, like, an insane lore dump and reveal. But it's chapter 5. There's 2 chapters left. I think that at this point, you need to be bringing a little bit more to the table than what chapter 5 brought. If chapter 5 and chapter 3's level of lore detail were switched, I think that I would not only enjoy chapter 3 just as much, I would also enjoy chapter 5 a lot more. But the fact of the matter is, it just isn't. Like, it's crazy how little happens in chapter 5. I'm losing my fucking mind here when I see people glazing it and people unwilling to accept the fact that this chapter is just lacking in terms of stuff happening. Chapter 5 is like the most nothing ever happens chapter in history. Chapter 6 better not be like this, because I feel like the chapter 7 is going to end up being dog shit if it's just like 40 hours of lore dumping. I really hope that that's not what happens. Okay, let's move on to Arc 2 of ReZero. This is Arc 2, the Tumultuous Week. Subaru wakes up in Emilia's mansion, or Roswell's mansion. He meets Ram and there's a mysterious sort of illness that takes over somebody. He gets killed by Ram once, and he has to deal with the Maw Beast attack in the city. I think this arc is middle range. I don't think Arc 2 is that good. I honestly hate that we got merch for the Cloud Flowers before getting more Queen merch. And also, can I just say something? Literally, Toby Fox makes a big deal out of making sure that there's never any fucking Lightner merch. And I get the flowers aren't exactly Lightners, but they're not Darkeners either. Like, I feel like that's a little bit, like, it's a little bit bad faith. Am I wrong? It's a little bit bad faith to be making merch of these guys before getting, like, Queen or some shit like that. Like, obviously, like, Spamton and Tenna are, like, some of the, like, the Tumblr sexy men of Deltarune, so they're gonna get a lot more attention, because that's just how these kinds of spaces work, but, like, it's a little much. The characters I really enjoyed, I just wish that there was more to it. Arc 2 of ReZero it's really more of a character study into Rem and Ram, and, it really sets up Arc 3 well. I think Arc 3 and 4 is when shit really starts to go down. Arc 2 sort of establishes the royal selection, like what it is, what it means to Emilia. and what it should mean to Subaru. It develops Subaru's and Emilia's relationship a little bit more. It develops Subaru's and Rem's relationship a whole hell of a lot. And Subaru kills himself. I think that's like a big turning point in the arc, and I think that really matters to him as a person. The fact that he's like, you know, he was basically about to just run away and like refuse to accept responsibility, but then eventually he just realized that he had to kind of accept responsibility for it, and he kills himself to go back and redo the week. The Rem and Ram backstory is really compelling stuff. I have some issues with this arc, I'm gonna be completely honest. The village people, I feel like, are super under-realized as characters. The fact that it's split into like 2 loops, but it's still like 3 volumes, it just feels a little bit off. The pacing feels a little bit off. Roswell just being fucking missing is, I mean, obviously comes into play in Arc 4. Like, trust me, I'm aware it comes into play in Arc 4. But it's still a little bit annoying because I feel like he's such a major player in the story of ReZero that I think that it's kind of important to have him there for a little bit longer. The slice of life segments, like, the repetition is a lot. And obviously, I know that that's supposed to also be, like, diegetic in the sense that you're supposed to feel the fact that Subaru is kind of losing his mind because he has to, you have to, like, you're also experiencing the full week along with Subaru, and he's kind of also losing his mind because he has to redo so much time. He has to, like, mask for so long that it's just hurting him. And, it's kind of sad to see, but also, like, I get it, but, like, also, like, it's still fucking annoying to read, no? Like, at some point, we have to reckon with the fact that it's kind of annoying to read. Also, the way the characters are written is so much shallower in this arc. Obviously, people are gonna be like, well, yeah, that's because they haven't been developed yet. Like, it doesn't make it not shallow. Like, Rem and Ram feel like caricatures of themselves for this arc, for, like, most of this arc until, like, they get there, until, like, the second half of it. Ram does basically nothing. I guess Ram is, like, super important in, like, arcs 4 to some degree. Really important in arc 6. Arc 7 to some degree as well. Less so in arc 9, but, like, she's there. Arc 7 and 8, she does some stuff as well. I don't know, I think that it's in the middle range. I think that this is definitely not a bad arc, and you would have to be fucking insane to call this a bad arc, but it's okay. Arc 3? Oh, I don't know why I went to Arc 3. We gotta do the if. That's what I meant to do. This is, what's it called? Oboreru. Drowning in another world from Zero. This is the Wrath if. This is what happens if, after Rem dies from the illness because Subaru was hiding in Beatrice's room the entire time, Ram confronts him and he doesn't kill himself. He runs away, refuses to commit suicide, to go turn the time back, and becomes really fucking angry at the world for treating him that way. This if story is so fucking good. Oh my god. We're gonna put this in... We're gonna put this in the good tier. I think this side story is, like, one of the best ones. The way that it works is Subaru, he develops this thing where he's, like, unable to trust anybody, and this manifests in the fact that he sees almost everybody in black and white. One notable exception to this is Emilia. Basically, what happens is, Subaru does an Arc 1 Pride if thing where he basically kills everybody. He kills Beatrice. He basically, he sort of, like, subjugates Roswell. He makes Roswell a non-issue, basically. And he takes everybody to, like, this crazy castle called Pandemonium. Emilia drops out of the royal selection, and Subaru, like, puts her in, like, this ice room where she's, like, super safe. And, like, he's, like, unable to sleep because of how paranoid he is. Like, he becomes, like, the leader of this organization that he's called, like, the what is it, the Blight King or some shit like that. The Purge King. He uses his knowledge of the future due to return by death as a way to, get leverage over a bunch of different people and make them submit to him. And as a result, he gets, like, all of the strongest people in the continent to work under him, minus Reinhard. Basically how it works is, like, a lot of this is told through the perspective of actually Frederica, who's a character that I feel like kind of gets shafted in ReZero in general, and I'm really glad that she gets some time here. Like, I feel like Frederica is a genuinely really interesting character, and I was always really sad that she didn't get that much to her until, like, now. Frederica, basically, she's just, like, stuck working for Subaru, and, she like, pisses him off at one point, and he flips a coin like he does with everybody else. So, like, earlier in the chapter, there's, like, a merchant that comes and starts groveling to him. Subaru flips a coin, and it lands tails, so he kills the merchant and his entire, like, community or whatever. It's established that Subaru does this with pretty much everybody, and, eventually, like, Frederica comes and serves him. She asks him a question that's a little impertinent, and Subaru, before leaving, flips a coin and lands heads, and he's like, "You're fine, your family will be safe." And she starts fucking crying after she gets back to her room, because, I mean, it's such a harrowing situation to be in. I don't blame her at all. That was a really good scene, and also, there's a ton of foreshadowing for Ram's inclusion in this arc. What happens is, when Subaru really freaks the fuck out, and he genuinely can't keep going, he goes to, like, this side story starts off with Subaru getting his shit kicked in by Ram, and the implication is that he overpowers her and kills her. However, turns out in the last bit, he goes into a hidden safe room that's foreshadowed throughout this post. Like, for example, when Frederica brings him his food, she brings him 2 plates instead of 1, because one of them is for Ram. But, like, eventually, like, Reinhardt and a bunch of other people, like, stage an invasion in Pandemonium, because Subaru's killed, like, millions of people at this point, and he, like, freaks out, goes into his panic room, because Emilia walks out of her safe room and kills Reinhardt and also dies along with it. And when Subaru sees that, he freaks the fuck out, goes into the panic room with Ram in there, and she sees, finally, Barasu or some shit like that, and then she presumably kills him, and he gets to return by death. It's a fucking compelling ass read. It's like it's like really gross. Like, Tapia is really good at writing stories that are just like objectionable in every way, shape, and form, and impossibly compelling. Love it. Geometry Dash. Okay. I forgot that I put this on here. Over the last year or so, I've been playing a bunch of Geometry Dash on my phone. I have stopped because I can't stomach any of the levels that are left over. I beat, like, I don't know, like 15 levels in the main story. Like, basically, most of the non-demon levels, I beat them, and I had a decent enough time. However, I find that a lot of modern Geometry Dash is levels that are just totally not sight-readable. You will go into a level, and, the obstacles will be like spikes. It'll look like, oh my god, how do I draw this? Hold up, paint. Like, here's how it'll be, okay? It'll be like this, okay? And it'll be like, oh my god, like this, okay? It'll be like, now, you can't jump over this. None of these are, like, big enough for you to land in. And what happens is, these are, like these will be real. These will be real, and then these will be fake, for instance. Like, and what you're supposed to do is, as the music beats, these ones flash because they're real. And you have to, like, notice that. I'm sorry, that's not fucking feasible to sight read. You just have to memorize a lot of these later levels. The most recently released level that I was actually able to beat and feel good about was Electroman Adventures, and I had a great time with that. The last level I beat was Theory of Everything, because I went back for it, and then, like, after that, I was like, I can't handle how shitty this is to sight read. Like, a lot of levels are like this. It's not just this level. It's really frustrating to play for me, and I don't like it as a result. I'll put it in a little bad. Okay. Is this our first fucking visual novel? Oh my god. I've read a lot of visual novels this year, by the way. I can't believe this is my first visual novel. Alright, let's go for it. This is Cyanotype Daydream, the girl who dreamed the world. This is a story about this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. No, this is a story, of a, you're not late. We ranked a couple of things, but it's nothing crazy. You know what, actually, you know what, while we're here, let me, like, move this a little bit. We can go, where the fuck is architect? Okay. Put this, like, here. Put this, like, here. We'll put this, like, here. There you go. And then we can go, this can go, like, here-ish, and arc 7 and the if can go like right here. Arc 6 will go like right here. Arc 5 can go like right here, and then arc 4 can go like right here. I think that should cover. Let's move it like this. Okay, I think this should cover us for good. Okay, Cyanotype Daydream, the girl who dreamed the world, is a story told in 4 parts, basically. you wake up in a room and you have none of your memories, and you meet this girl named Yonagi, and she looks like this. She's like basically in a vegetative state. She can't really communicate effectively. You get put under. You get put you get put under, and you get put into a story where you and her both play like a main character, and it's a story of love and separation. And so, like, for example, one of them is like an alt history Shakespeare story, not like actually like a Shakespearean play, but a story about Shakespeare, where like a woman wants to become an actor, and she's a noble, and like she convinces and like bullies Shakespeare into doing it, and you playing the role of Shakespeare, write a bunch of plays with her, and then eventually the queen finds out about it, and you are sort of separated from it, separated from her, and then that's how the story ends. And then there's another one where you play like a guy, it's like a coming of age story of this guy who is whose mom died, and he's sort of trying to relive her memories by finding a place where she liked to take photos, and because she was a photographer, and like doing what she did, but like he's kind of dissociating and like losing himself slowly. But then he meets like his teacher, like sort of like they meet up with each other and talk to each other and stuff like that. And then there's the third story is about like this teacher whose wife fucking hates him, and he's like a failed publisher, and then one of his old writing buddies dies, and his daughter, the writing buddy's daughter, is one of his students, and then they develop like a relationship. It is an eroge. I do have to say, the edo part of the eroge in Cyanotype Daydream is fucking worthless. Like, it genuinely... There's maybe one scene that I feel like actually has any bearing on the main plot. It's not that good. Anyways, you go through all these stories, and then you go to, like, these are called... It's like Case 1, Case 2, Case 3. Case 1 is the teacher and the high school girl. Case 2 is the Shakespeare one. Case 3 is the one of the photographer. And you finish all three of those cases, and you have your memories reset in between each one, and after that you get Case 0, which is you remembering everything about your relationship with Yonagi, and so like turns out like you're living in like a post-apocalyptic world where there's like a virus outbreak in the outside world, and you're with Yonagi, and like you guys, it's like a love story about them. They live in like it's like a dystopian thing where like there's like a bottom layer of people that have to work, a middle layer of people that do like decent work, and then like a top layer of like nobles in the world or whatever. And you're living in the bottom layer, and it's a story about how you and Yonagi learn to love each other. And like how like your mom in the story is like she dies of like some mysterious disease. Your character Kaito becomes like a scientist, and they're like doing research. They're doing research on what they can do to prevent the spread of the disease or whatever, or like cure people of the disease, yada yada. Eventually, it turns out that she has Alzheimer's, and she is slowly going to forget about herself. And it's a story about coming to terms with that loss and loving someone despite it. It ends up with them like it ends with Kaito and Yonagi. Kaito and Yonagi's like Yonagi gets turned into, because she has like psychic powers or whatever. It's a whole different plotline. She gets turned into an empty husk of herself because of scientists like experiments or whatever. And her like mind psychic space is turned into like a VR system for the entire world. And Kaito is he's so sad about it because she was losing her memory slowly, but she hadn't fully lost herself. It's just so heartrending. It's beautiful. And in the end, what he does is he in the vacant remnants of her mind, the three stories that she wrote, Case 1, Case 2, and Case 3, are all stories that she wrote about her love with Kaito, and she, like, those keep getting, like, beamed into the people living there, and so Kaito has to, like, talk to her and try to figure out what's going on. He gets to have one last conversation with her. She's gone forever, and then because the dream world is vacant, because, her ego doesn't exist in it, so she doesn't have any, like, she's just like a vessel at this point. She doesn't have any input on how the world is like maintained or whatever, or like what happens in it. It's basically formed entirely by the perceptions of the people that live in it, the people that live in the VR world. what happens is he like goes on a journey, like an endless journey to preach about her, the one who became the girl who became the world for everybody, and tell everybody how she's basically the god of the world. And there's like this theory posited that in a world like the VR world that they're living in, if everybody believes in something, then it will come into existence. So he makes everybody believe in her, and she comes back into existence, and they meet up again. I don't like the last little part. The story sort of ends with him going on this eternal quest to find her. And that's how all three of Case 1, Case 2, and Case 3 also end. It ends with Kaito's character going on an eternal journey to find the woman that he loved. And there's like an epilogue, post-credit scene, where everything turns out okay. I don't like that. I feel like so much of these two characters' relationships is their knowledge that they will lose, and it will be irrecoverable. I think that that's fucking beautiful. I just don't like that they sort of like cheapen out on that by the end. I'm gonna have to put it in there. I'm gonna have to put it. It's not a little bad. It's like good, but I mean, I fucking cried at the end, dog. Like I think I have. Let me see if I can find the fucking. It's in my archive channels. I think I put in a thread. This is my first thread game. Yep. Let me see if I can find it. There's also like this interesting. This is where I was reading it for the first time, and right here, like they meet him like this. She leaves, and then he goes on the journey, and then this is when I couldn't hold it any longer. I was fucking ugly crying at this game. This game is good. Like it was really really good. What about verse layer and side layer as opposed to like top and bottom layer? Come on, Purple. Like you're better than this. Come on. Why the fuck is Ocean's 13 the first one? Hold up. We're gonna do this. Okay. These movies are free on YouTube, so I started watching them because I've heard good things about them. God damn, are these movies good. Ocean's 11 is like a fun little like heist story with like a twist at the end. I like it. It's very stylishly presented, but it's obviously all three of these are like ensemble cast movies, you know. We've got hold up, Ocean's 11 cast. Even like there's a lot of actors that I could recognize, and that's how you know it's like a big cast. Like we had fucking Andy Garcia, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, George Clooney. I recognize these people, and I can recognize them by sight. So that's how you know, because I'm not like that into Hollywood. Even I could recognize that these guys are fucking. They're like big deals. And this movie was a ton of fun. I think that it's just like a story about this guy that's like trying to scam. Basically, the Fate route ending in last episode. Okay, that's a spoiler because I haven't read Fate Sinai, but I'll allow it because, you know what? Thank you for engaging honestly with the stream. It's unfortunate that I got spoiled, but honestly, I probably have been spoiled about a shit ton of stuff on Fate. Ocean's 11, I would say, is good. And in fact, I am demoting this to a little bad. No. This one's good. I'm demoting this one to a little bad. Ocean's 11 is just a good movie. It's just a good heist movie. Now, Ocean's 12 is fucking awesome. Ocean's 12 is such a fucking great movie. It's also a heist movie. Like, the premise is that in this movie, they, like, steal a guy's, like, money or whatever. And in this movie, they have to, like, repay him because he finds them all after they went into hiding. And then there's also this, like, master thief that's, like, on their tails or whatever. But that's not the good part of the movie. The heist is fine. But the best part about this movie is something that they just genuinely don't tell you in the marketing, is that this is a comedy movie. This movie is so fucking funny. There's a couple of scenes in the middle of the movie where all the characters are in a room and are just kind of talking shit to each other. They're just kind of like being a little annoying and rude and mean to each other. The conversation feels so lifelike and is so effortlessly hilarious that I love it. There's also a bit later on in this movie where they allude to the fact that the character played by Julia Roberts, who is Frank Ocean's wife now, looks like somebody, and they're all like, don't mention it. Frank's like, don't mention it, don't talk about it. Later on, they're like, fuck, we gotta do a distraction. We need somebody to come in for this. We need to call in the wife because everybody got captured. And the bit is Julia Roberts as Frank Ocean's wife is pretending to be Julia Roberts and infiltrating an area so that she can free her husband and his coworkers. It is such an insanely funny bit. Like, I can't believe how deranged you have to be to come up with something that good. Like, holy fuck, that's funny. This movie is insanely good. Like, I cannot stress enough. If you haven't watched Ocean's 12, fucking watch it. It is awesome. Ocean's 13, I would say, it maintains the stylishness and quality of Ocean's 12, except there's like this master diamond thief guy shows back up in Ocean's 13 for like 15 minutes, but the premise of Ocean's 13 is actually a lot of fun. Unlike instead of it being like a heist, they're basically just fucking trolling the shit out of one guy who was really mean to one of their people. Like, they're basically just trolling the shit out of everybody. Oh, I forgot, Don Cheadle plays like a fucking British guy in Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13. Like, it is so goddamn funny what they do in these movies. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with these movies, but like, this movie is a ton of fun as well. Basically the idea is that there's like, this guy, like the new antagonist, basically like fucked over one of their like, co-conspirators who, they're both like rich guys, except he like betrayed our guy because he wanted to like build a big hotel or whatever, and our guy goes into like a coma basically, and what they do is they totally they go on a tirade to basically prank the shit out of him and totally ruin the perception of his hotel. Like, there's a guy coming in to review the hotel and they just make his stay completely awful. Like, they pretend to be the working staff, they treat him like shit, they like move his rooms around so he has a really shitty room, they fuck with the venting so that his room smells like ass, they put like some irritant on his like bed sheet so he gets like a rash. They treat him so badly so he gives a terrible review for it's just so fucking good. Kind of reminds me of those Kevin Hart and Ice Cube movies. It's like that. Yeah, it's like that. It's a comedy heist movie. You have to accept that. Okay, I have to think about how I'm gonna talk about this. This is Ends of a Dream. This is a story. This is a Yuri story about two teenage girls who it's told in reverse. So it starts off with right after the death of one of them. And the other one is like an old lady. She's like a grandma. She's talking with her grandson, and she's the topic of her situationship comes up, and he like finds like this like mysterious box that has like a part of a finger in it, and basically it's a story. It is fucking sad, man. It's a story about how these two girls were living in like an authoritarian time where women were not allowed to love each other for who they were, and despite how much they loved each other, they just couldn't do it because of the way the world was. They were going through war, everybody was super homophobic, they just didn't have any like leeway to live as themselves. And it's told in reverse because when they were really young, they basically cut like part of their fingers off and put it into like a box for safekeeping to promise that they'd like take care of each other. And it's just so fucking sad, man. It is really good. Like, it's really good. It's like real. It is doomed Yuri. It is very, very doomed Yuri. It's so heartfelt and like so honest about their love for each other. They don't hate she doesn't hate her husband. She doesn't think that he's like a bad guy. It's just that like at the end of the day, she loved her girlfriend. Like, she loved her so much, and she just wasn't allowed to exhibit her love in the world that birthed her. It's so fucking good. What was the name of it again? It's called Slime Feet. No, this is called The Ends of a Dream. Let me see if I can find it. Ends of a Dream. Maybe it has like a name. Analyst. Yume no Hashibashi. Yeah, the one thing I will say is that I feel like this story being told in reverse actually doesn't help it out as much, because I think that it would have been a lot more despondent, because I mean that's what you're going for, so let's be realistic here. It would have been a lot more despondent if it was told in chronological order, because the only thing that you really get from going back in time is like the mystery of what happened with the box, right? Like, whatever. It's 10 chapters long, so it's fairly short, but I mean these are like long chapters. It's 2 volumes of 10 chapters, so like don't expect this shit to be short. Moving on, this is Gekkou. This is a fun little story. It's a 1-volume light novel about this guy who's got like a classmate, and she's like super unapproachable or whatever, and he one day, like, her parents die, and he stumbles onto like a note of hers, and it's like a note listing out how she would want to kill her parents because she fucking hates them or whatever, and they're like terrible to her. What follows is like this delicate dance of courtship between the two of them, where they're trying to, like, he's trying to figure out whether she's a serial killer and is going to kill him for figuring this out, because he's pretty sure that she's onto him, and she's trying to figure out how he feels about her. And there's this like really fun detective guy who's basically represents the, like, all the bad parts about the main character. He's like Erica from Umineko. He approaches the mystery without any sense of love, and eventually like the guy like defeats the detective in like a mental battle, and towards the end it really feels like whether she actually did it or it was just an accident, because there's this like entire concept of like there's like a lot of plausible deniability about the accident that her parents got into. According to like the note, if the note is to believe, she planned stuff so that her parents would eventually die. Her parents would die in that car crash. However, it's like a perfectly ordinary car crash. There's nothing special about it. It's very much possible that it just happened by itself. Like, it just happened in and of itself, and she wasn't to blame for it. Like, there's this idea where it's like, they try to keep it like vague about whether it actually happened or not, right until the very end, where the main character convinces the antagonist to give up on figuring it out and to leave things as vague. And then he turns around and is like, oh, by the way, I know you definitely did kill them. And she's like, yeah, I did kill them. And he's like, we're gonna have to move past it, and we'll still live with each other as a result of learning about each other's sins. I'm sorry, I think that it's bad. Like, the problem is, like, the whole message up to that point is that like, the vagueness of whether she did it or not is thematically supposed to represent the fact that it should matter to you as a person more who she is rather than what she is. And it's like if Umineko ended with, it's like if Umineko didn't end with the narrative that it ends with. It's like Umineko, except a little scuffed. As a result, I'm not that much of a fan of it. It reads well though. Like, the actual like writing is interesting and it's kind of fun. There's a bunch of cool characters in it. If you like, it's 1 volume, so if you're looking for something to read, Gekkou is not bad. Gekkou. I think we're like about a third of the way through. That's pretty good. ReZero Arc 3. Okay. This shit is gas, man. Let me think about this. We'll rearrange them as the need arises. ReZero Arc 3 is like the first arc of ReZero where you go, oh, holy fuck, this guy's actually like writing something like serious here. Until Arc 3 of ReZero, you could have fooled yourself into thinking that ReZero is like Ascendance of a Bookworm tier, where it's like a good isekai. Once you hit Arc 3, you start to realize, what's Slay the Spire 2 doing here? Well, I mean, I played Slay the Spire 2 this year, so it's going on here. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. ReZero Arc 3 is so fucking good. Like, the big brunt of what ReZero Arc 3 faces is that, number one, it needs to make you believe that Rem really loves Subaru. It does that extremely well. Like, through her sacrifice, it is clear to tell, like, it's a bit of a cop-out, but like, through how much she's willing to sacrifice herself for Subaru, it's very easy to tell how much she loves him. Number two, Subaru needs to be challenged for his beliefs. Up until Arc 3, Subaru sort of approaches his life in the world of ReZero as if he was like in like a solo leveling tier series where he's in a world that has like a rich history, but everybody around him is an NPC designed to fit into a role that they've been given. Like, he really does espouse this belief, and he's also like kind of insanely sexist. Like, I think on a reread, look at how many times Subaru mentions his role as a man, and Emilia's role, and Rem's role, and Ram's role as women, up until the end of Arc 3. Like, really look at it. like, Subaru is clearly has been fed a lot of toxic masculinity in his life, and it really comes to a head with how, in this arc, he goes against Emilia's wishes to come and save her, to come and speak for her in the royal selection meeting, and goes against her wishes, makes a total ass for himself. Are these chair thumbnail ifs? Yes, this is pride if, this is wrath if. He makes an ass of himself, and he crashes out on Emilia, treats her like shit, and she lets go of him, and he has to, like, stew on it. That's so fucking important for Subaru as a character. Like, there's a lot of different issues with Subaru as a person, like, mentally speaking. But I think that Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 3, Arc 4 mirror Subaru's life from birth. Starting off, like, when he was born, Subaru's, like, he has a lot of confidence in himself, and then that slowly, through Arc 1, Arc 2, gets beaten down, until, in this arc, I feel like he finally realizes that he's not, like, this omnipotent being that's, like, the main character of the world. He's just a guy, and everybody else is also just as real as he is. He can't exploit Return by Death to, like, gain an advantage in, like, a relationship. It's the fact that Satella puts his restart point after he crashes out at Emilia is really meaningful in the greater context of ReZero, and I think that it's really important that she does that. There's also the introduction of Betelgeuse as a villain, fucking wonderful. Oh my god, Betelgeuse is such a lovably hateable villain. Like, he's so clearly fucking insane. There's the three arcs, the three Return by Death loops before Subaru gets the REM speech and, like, locks in are so fucking good. Oh my god. The first one where he just, like, goes back there and, like, dies with his hand on, like, the doorknob or whatever. The second one where, oh my god, the second one is so fucking brutal, where Betelgeuse, like, turns Rem into a marionette or whatever, and, like, she dies freeing him. He goes there, and then Puck freezes him, his head breaks off, and then credits roll in episode 15. That was, like, maybe one of the greatest episodes in anime history. And then the one after that where he, like, becomes, like, really fucking angry and, like, crashes out at everybody and, like, eventually, like, hires Otto to take him, and then the white whale shows up and shit like that. It's really good, man. And then the REM speech is genuinely one of the most iconic moments in ReZero. I mean, there's a reason that the REM speech chapter is labeled ReZero kara hajimeru isekai seikatsu. Like, it's the name of the series, because that's, like, when ReZero really, like, starts. Like, that's when you really understand Subaru as a character, when you really understand the ethos of ReZero, when you really understand where they're coming from. In addition to that, there is so much great characterization in this arc of, like, Wilhelm and his shit with the Astria family drama gets brought up for the first time. Al's character is introduced here. All the royal candidates are introduced, and their personalities are given some time to go. Julius and Subaru have their gay-ass situationship start in Arc 3. Arc 3 is genuinely one of the best arcs in ReZero. And the only reason it's not going in Astounding is because there are arcs that are somehow so good that they make this shit look like child's play. Speaking of Arc 3, this is the if route for Arc 3. I think this is the first if route that feels, like, really well realized, because before Rem gives him the speech, Subaru tries to convince Rem to run away with him because he just can't handle the situation anymore. This is what happens if Rem agrees and they go to Kararagi and they live the rest of their lives out. It's a very, like, wholesome if, and as a result, I don't really like it. It doesn't have a lot of bearing on the greater plot. You get, like, the biggest thing that this does, I guess, is introduce you to Halibel. I guess, like, that's not really that interesting, like, whatever. The newlywed life that Subaru and Rem lead is cute, but it's pretty, like, substanceless. I feel like it would have been a great knife in the heart if you just, like, at the very end you see Subaru dying and he gets taken back to when before the REM speech happens, and he, like, right before he tries to convince Rem to go with him. Like, that would have been such a great knife in the heart. But, like, at the end of the day, it's kind of boring. Like, nothing really happens in here. We gotta talk about Chaos Head. Oh my fucking god. I haven't gotten through the entirety of it yet, so my opinion on this might change. But I need you to understand that this is the longest I've ever spent on a visual novel, and that includes Umineko. Like, if you split Umineko into answer arcs and question arcs, I finished Umineko question arcs in like 50 hours. Same with answer arcs. I've spent 64 hours on Chaos Head because I just can't fucking get myself through it because it's so goddamn boring. The narration is super long-winded. The delusions, they trick you into thinking the delusions do something, and like they give you some extra dialogue, but like it's so meaningless. Like, it just feels super ass until the chapter where Takumi goes on top of the D-Sword chapter, where he goes on top of the building and he's told by Shogun to get the D-Sword. I just finished chapter IR2, which I think is the first chapter I'm like, oh, this is actually like genuinely going somewhere. But for now, this is god awful. I don't have too much more to say about Chaos Head. I just genuinely don't like it. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh my god, that's way too loud. Sorry, I had to crank the OST a little bit. This is Jeanne. This is a otome game, my first ever otome game. I read this because the author of this is Tokyo Ghoul's Sui Ishida. And let me tell you something, the allegations are not being beaten. Sui Ishida continues in Jeanne to be the most transgender author of all time. Like, literally, this motherfucker cannot write anything unless it's about how you feel like your gender is a little bit fucked up. Like, it's every single thing that Sui Ishida writes has so many characters that are great at like investigating their gender identity and how they feel about themselves and their gender. Fucking wonderful. Like, that part is great. Jeanne is basically about this girl, Kisa Tachibana. She has to go into cross-dress, and she wants to be part of a drama school called Univale. That's like the best in the country, but it's only for guys. And she has to cross-dress and go as a guy into Univale. And the way you play through it is like there's like a raising sim part where like you work on different stats, but it's like super shallow. You just like select an option and the stat goes up. It's like pretty fucking boring, all things considered. And then there's like plays where you get to see all the characters in different costumes and they do like a full play. Like, you get like little snippets of the play ahead of time, but at the actual presentations and the events, you go through the full play, and it's fucking awesome. Like, there's some great songs in here. Hold up, let me see if I can find it. Ghost Party, Jeanne. This is one of my favorite songs from Jeanne. And there's like rhythm gain sections in there, and some of the stats help you on the rhythm gain sections. But like basically, it's about like building your romance with a bunch of different characters, and whatnot. But the canon route, interestingly enough, is one where you don't pick any of them, and Kisa becomes there's different roles. Like, there you can be a Jack, like real classic plays. No, they make up plays. It's fun. It's like a ton of fun. Kisa. In the world of Univale, there's like 4 different roles that you can get. You can have a Jeanne, which is a person who typically plays a female role in the story. Jack, a guy who plays a typically male role in the story. The Aljeanne, the Jack Ace, which is like the best Jack in the class, and the Aljeanne, which is the best Jeanne in the class. The canon route in Jeanne is about Kisa accepting that she has her gender, she has a lot of issues with presenting as a guy and presenting as a girl, and that she's a little bit of both, and they create a new role for her, that being the Jeanne, and she becomes like this gender transcendent being that puts on the greatest show that Univale has ever put together, and it kind of fucking rules. It does kind of fucking rule. The best boy in this is Soshiro. I will not accept any criticism on this. He's awesome. This song is so good. It's just a fun song. However, the gameplay is genuinely so ass. I only did 2 routes on this because I couldn't bother doing more routes, because the problem with this game is that the common route is like 80% of the game, and there's no convenient way to the common route is 80% of the game. Jack John sounds peak as a choices matter slop enjoyer. The problem is there's not that many choices matter. There's like the character routes are like one play's worth. So there's like a different part, like the final play is written differently depending on who you pick or which route you go on. But I digress. The fact of the matter is, like, replaying the game fucking sucks. It is a pain. Like, it's incredibly inconvenient to do so. There's no like new game plus setting, so you just have to start from the fucking beginning every single time. It sucks. I hate it. And the day by day raising mechanics fucking blow because they're super annoying and time consuming and like there's not much quality of life to it. They're coming out with a Jacques Jean 2, which looks to be a lot more fun to play. I'm still gonna play it because the actual plays themselves are one of a kind and a ton of fun. But at the end of the day, I think that this cannot go any higher than the middle range. Like, I think this is exactly 5 out of 10, like a 5 out of 10 game. Whew. Let's talk about Kara no Shoujo. Kara no Shoujo, aka Girl in the Shell, or as the name literally translates to Girl in Shell, is a story about it's like post-war Japan setting where our main character Reiji has to investigate a bunch of really grisly and gruesome and grotesque serial murder case that involves a bunch of students, a bunch of female students in a bunch of female students attending like a Catholic school. There's a lot of really enjoyable theming here. Religion plays a big role in these girls' lives and also in the greater story. The actual murders are modeled after both the in-universe story, like they're modeled after an in-universe story that is based on Dante's Inferno, and the general plot is really cool because Reiji himself, in the past, there was somebody who brutalized and murdered his wife, Reiji's wife, which I think happens in a visual novel created by these guys before this called Cartagra, but I haven't read Cartagra because it's coming out soonish in English, so I'll probably read it then. But I digress. The Reiji has an inkling that whoever's doing this has something to do with whoever did in the past. Turns out it kind of does. I'm not going to spoil it a little bit too much more than that, but it's a really compelling period piece, like ensemble drama. There are some fucking problems with this game, by the way. Two really big problems. The character writing, fucking gorgeous. The plot, great. The murder mystery itself, really well realized. I think that it's interesting enough that it's reasonable enough that you could figure out, but also obfuscated enough that there's enough twists that it's entertaining regardless of whether you can figure it out or not. Great stuff. The problem is that playing the game is a fucking shit show. This is one of those old-ass games where you just kind of have to know how to do stuff or you will not be able to get through it. You really need a guide to get to the good ending of the true ending of this game. And I don't like that. I think it's not hard to understand why I don't like the fact that you need a guide to get to the true ending of this game. Replays are a little bit frustrating, but not too bad. There's a bunch of different routes, and like none of them are meaningfully different in the main story, except for like 30 minutes tacked on to the end. I don't really like it. But I feel like the biggest issue I have with this is the fact that it's an edo game. For those who don't know, edoge is visual novels typically that involve erotic stuff. In this case, sex scenes. Yes. You, as like the 29-year-old Reiji, do fuck some of these high school girls. Listen, we in this channel operate on a strict don't read perspective. I don't have a problem with the morals of it, because like that's not my issue. My issue is that the sex scene serves genuinely zero purpose in the greater overall plot. Like, it does not do fucking anything for the plot. Like, one of my best examples is that you'll discover a new dead body who is somebody that, like, who's like a friend of Reiji's sister. Reiji's younger sister who also goes to the school. You can't fuck your sister in this game. In fact, I feel... Okay. I'm gonna say something. This game has a lot of like incestuous shit in it, and it's always portrayed as bad. It's always like one of those things where like the incestuous like relationship is like manipulative and results in something horrible happening. But I feel like in the thematic landscape of it, wouldn't it make sense for there to be a Reiji X his sister route? I feel like, I guess if you're trying to establish that it's bad, you don't want Reiji to do that. So I don't hate it. I digress. You come back from you go to a crime scene. Turns out one of your sister's friends got murdered, and it is fucking gruesome. Like, one of her arms is chopped off, her head is twisted 180 degrees. Like her legs are also chopped off, and she's basically been made into like a gruesome work of art, basically. And you have to investigate it, and you go home, you have to break the news to your sister. Are there any good eroges? Oh, there's some good ones coming up. You have to break the news to your sister, and it's like, she's like obviously sad about it, and like, Reiji has a wonderful talk with her about the nature of loss and how his loss of his wife affected him, and how it's hard to keep going, but you have to find reasons to keep going. And then you go to the autopsy lady to try to figure out what exactly happened to do this. And then she goes, Tokisaka-han, I won't give you the autopsy reports unless you fuck me. And then there's a sex scene, and it just totally ruins all of the tension that's built up. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, it's just, none of the sex scenes have any major bearing on the story. Like, it's just, the sex scenes are so much. Here's the thing, I'm not saying that you need to remove the sex scenes, because I feel like that's kind of an anti-art perspective. I am, however, saying that if you're gonna put sex scenes in your game, you better make sure that it's equal in quality to the stuff that comes before and the stuff that comes after it. Because if you read the story and it's good, and it becomes dog shit for the purposes of one sex scene, and then it becomes godlike again, then it's bad. Like, I'm sorry, it's just bad. Like, I don't think that's good. That being said, it's fucking, like, the murder mystery is really good. I'm gonna put it in, like, here. The murder mystery is genuinely fucking one of a kind. There's a lot of stuff about, like, forgiveness in here, like, what constitutes sin, generational trauma. And it's fun because, like, this period piece makes it, it's, like, in one of the last eras before, something like this would become impossible to do due to the spread of technology. Which, obviously, it's, like, a good thing in the real world that people can't do shit like this, but, like, I think that it's interesting to place it in a world like this. Another thing that I feel like is kind of underrated about this game is that all the characters are fairly, like, realistic depictions of characters. Like, they're still, like, moe-fied a little bit, but there's no, like, crazy wild hair colors and stuff like that. There's only one character that's blonde, and she's, like, half Italian, so that it makes sense that she's blonde. And the other fun thing about that is, when it comes to, because it's all, like, super grounded, it might seem like it would be hard to make the characters, like, feel different. No, there's, like, a ton of different kinds of appeals of characters, and they all still just have black hair. It's actually very, very well visually designed. Just make the sex scenes better, dog. I hope Kata no Shoujo 2, I've heard, is a fucking masterpiece. I hope the sex scenes in that one are either more infrequent or better. Okay. You know what? I'm adding another row above. This is gonna be the keynote here. This is gonna be like, I'm gonna put like 5 things in here. Because I looked at this and I was like, I can't put ReZero, Arc 3, and Arc 4 in the same part. Arc 4 of ReZero is like probably one of the best arcs of ReZero. And it's probably one of the best works I've ever read. This is, funnily enough, the arc that I quit ReZero on. I originally quit ReZero during this arc because I felt like it was dragging on for too long. How do I put this? You know what, let's... Arc 4 of ReZero is undeniably really long-winded. It's like 6 volumes. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, admittedly, Arc 7 makes that shit looks like child's play, but I digress. it feels, while you're reading it, it feels really drawn out. It feels really meaningless. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really go anywhere. But when you look back at it, you're like, oh, fuck, this is like the foundation of the rest of ReZero. Like, this arc, I'm telling you, arcs 4, there's 3 arcs in ReZero that I think the entire story was written around. And I think arc 4 is one of them. Like, there's so much shit in here that makes so much sense in the greater context of the canon of ReZero, and it's written here. For example, how do I put this? What we need to understand about Arc 4 is that Arc 3 leaves you on the cliffhanger of Rem's memories being eaten and Subaru being freaked the fuck out about what's going on. Arc 4 gives us a world where Subaru is, after Arc 3, Subaru is beaten down and somewhat defeated. He feels like he's not adequate. Just like how he did before he isekai. Right now, Arc 4 is... Subaru in Arc 4 is at the exact same mental place that he is before the start of the story. Right before the start of the story. Subaru, he's like super defeated. He values himself very, very little. And he still has a little bit of that toxic masculinity in there. But it's not nearly as bad anymore. Like, he actually cares about Emilia and he wants to help her out of the goodness of his heart, and because she's a person that he genuinely cares about, not because he believes that he's owed her love to some degree. This is the development of that Subaru. Subaru gets, like, Roswell is, like, stuck in the Sanctuary, which is, like, a place in the Roswell domain where, like, and Subaru's like, what the fuck's going on? I guess we'll go to the Sanctuary to try to figure out what's going on, because we need to get Roswell back so we can figure out how the fuck we're gonna fix what's going on with the Rem. They go to the Sanctuary, and as they're going to the Sanctuary, Subaru gets split up, sent to, like, like, a specific place, and immediately he gets zonked out, and he wakes up in a metaphysical realm where he has a tea party with a witch. Metaphysical realm where he has a tea party with a witch? Does that sound familiar to anybody of you? This is the first Umineko arc of ReZero. ReZero is very, very, very clearly based, or not necessarily based, but inspired by Umineko. And this arc is the first arc of ReZero that I can confidently say is heavily based off, like, heavily inspired by Umineko. The Echidna Tea Parties are some of the best written work I've ever read in my fucking life, dude. Oh my god. The way that Subaru as a character evolves through his interactions with Echidna and the other witches is so interesting. Like, I never seen Umineko. Don't worry about it right now. You're still going through ReZero, and ReZero is long as shit. I digress. Arc 4, the way that, like, Super goes in there, he meets with Echidna, and immediately he's like, I don't give a shit about you, I'm getting out of here. And Echidna's like, wait, what are you doing? And then he just goes. Super then goes back to the Sanctuary, he talks with a bunch of people. Turns out, I don't know what's going on. There's just some, like, weird shit going on, right? Like, he eventually, like, walks around. He investigates a bunch. He can't really figure anything out. He gets beat up by Garfield, and Otto also gets beat up by Garfield. And then they go to the Sanctuary. They talk with Roswell. Turns out, like, some crazy shit's going on. Wait, Presses, how does Subaru die? What is the first death that Subaru has in the Sanctuary? Because Subaru does the first part of the trial before he dies, right? Like, if I recall correctly, what happens is he goes back to the Sanctuary because he hears Emilia's in there and he's worried about her. He gets let in, and then he goes into the trial where he has to overcome his past. This part is really interesting to me. Subaru has a, Subaru's memories are used by Echidna to reconstruct a situation where he has to come to terms with his past and accept it. It's by Elsa. Okay, so it is when he goes back. Okay, so he goes there and he has, like, a talk with his parents in the metaphysical world that Echidna creates for him. He talks with them, he cries, he develops a little bit as a character, and he moves on. And then I believe he goes back to the mansion for some reason. I forget exactly what. And then Elsa shows up and fucking kills him. Elsa just kills him. He wakes up in the sanctuary, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? He doesn't know what's going on. So now, he's like, oh shit, Elsa and Meili are going to be attacking the Roswell Manor. I need to figure out how the hell to get there. However, as he started dying, his stench, his Omegaverse pheromones are getting stronger. Garfield, who's like the protector of the sanctuary, recognizes that, and he like starts like tracking him down, tracking him down and shit like that. But I digress. I forget whether this is the one. I don't think this is the loop where Garfield locks him up. At some point, Garfield like ties him up, and there's this super disturbing chapter where Subaru's just constantly having to relive all his mistakes, and he has to like bang his head into the ground so that the pain can stop him from thinking about it, because he can't kill himself because like Garfield stuffs like a cloth into his mouth, so he can't even bite his own tongue off. It's really, really disquieting and uncomfortable, and it's obviously incredibly compelling. I believe he then gets like rescued by Otto. Otto is a fucking goat in this arc. Otto is my favorite character in ReZero. I love him so much. That's my little twink boy. I thought Garfield can't actually smell him. Ryuzu tells him he smells. That's probably it then. Listen, you need to cut me some slack. It's been 30 volumes since I read Arc 4. Like, cut me some slack here, please. Anyways, yada yada yada. He like walks around. He fucks around everywhere. Eventually, the White Rabbit shows up, and it eats him. It eats him whole, and it is like one of the grossest deaths Subaru's had. It's not the most disturbing death Subaru's had, but it's fucking up there. He then wakes up in the sanctuary. He can't get past the feeling of the pain that he had of the rabbits killing him, and he goes fucking crazy, and then Echidna recognizes that, brings him into the second tea party. I believe second tea party is when in the second tea party, he makes a promise with Echidna to meet her again when the need is there, and he talks to her with a bunch of shit, and then he does that. The exact timeline of Arc 4 is not important to me. I don't know why I'm giving you like a plot summary and rundown. It doesn't matter to me. The important part is that after Subaru gets like bitten up by the rabbits, he has another really fucking gruesome arc where like he escapes. He barely escapes the forest with like one of his eyes put out by Garfield. He's bleeding all the way to he's bleeding like crazy on his way back to the mansion. He makes it back to the mansion. And Elsa and Meili are already there. They like corner him. Can I say I find it annoying that Subaru calls Emilia Meili? He doesn't call her Meili. He calls it her Emilia-tan, and they changed it to Meili in the anime. They basically corner him. They kill him and Beatrice, but Subaru calling Emilia Meili is an English only thing. It's an anime dub only thing. Do not slander the light novels like that. Even the fucking Gen Press translation is able to put Emilia-tan in there. Okay, don't put that evil on them. He's like fucking dying in there because like, oh no, his eye gets put out by I think Elsa, and then he gets like taken into the library with Beatrice. Elsa gets in there. Beatrice has like one last standoff with Elsa. She dies, but and Subaru tries to get Beatrice to kill him because he's super distrustful of Beatrice because she has a gospel. And I think this scene is super fucking impactful because like you get to see like the true internal turmoil of Beatrice as a character. I was not sold on Beatrice as a character until this exact scene. I think that it really helped me understand what the author was going for with her, and I think that it really works super well. Anyway, Subaru gets like teleported back into the sanctuary. Turns out Emilia's dead. Turns out he's like talking to Emilia or something, and then he tells Emilia about Return by Death over and over. And what happens is normally he gets hurt by Return by Death, but this is the first time I think that Emilia dies because he divulges about Return by Death. Yada yada. Elsa stabs him in the village. She says, "Don't look at me like that." Yeah, stop. Yeah, that basically happens. This is where I think ReZero goes from Arc 4 goes from good to peak. The fucking the I'm pretty sure after this happens, he comes back and he gets sent directly into the present trial. All three of the trials are so fucking good. The past trial tells you about what Subaru believes his parents are like. The present trial is so fucking important. There's this part at the start of Arc 4, Subaru kills himself because he thinks that maybe he'll get sent back to before Rem dies. And it's like really fucked up that he kills himself. Like, he's spent so much time realizing that his life matters and that he throws it away because he just can't stand to see Rem gone. And he really fucking suffers of this because of the future trial. The future trial, I mean, not the future trial, the present trial. The present trial telling him about the alternate timelines about what happens when he dies, like the world that gets left behind when he dies. I think in later arcs it gets confirmed that that's not how Return by Death works, and that the world actually does get like fully reset and there's no alternate timeline. But I think that it's really fucking compelling to show him the actual evil of him killing himself because he didn't want Rem's memories to be gone. Like, he actually has to suffer the consequences of seeing how everybody acts when he dies. Because up until now, like, at this point in Arc 4, Subaru's harboring this delusion that he's the only one that needs to suffer, and that he's the only one that actually does suffer from his deaths. And that's just not true. Like, other people care about him. Other people love him. Like, other people think that he's important and that he deserves to live. They want to be there with him through good and bad. Mostly Julius at this point, I think. Rem's, because, like, Rem doesn't have a memory. But I digress. Seeing those, like, really fucks with him, and then he gets taken into, I think, the third meeting with the witch, where he really gets delivered this beautiful fucking, like, let me see if I can fucking find it. Oh my god, I gotta turn off streamer mode. Oh, I gotta put this on the other. Lag. Okay, okay, right here. I read this on May 19th, 2026. Let me read this out to you, okay? Love, please. In the end, that's what it's all about? You twist my feelings, then tell me to love you? Who'd love someone like... No. When Subaru tried to reject... So this is when, all the other witches show up, because Subaru's trying to figure out a way to beat the White Rabbit. And then, Satella shows up. Satella shows up in the... No, in the second one. In the second one, he asks for like Daphne or whatever's help. In the third one, Satella also shows up, because he's losing his fucking mind. When Subaru tried to reject her thought through his trembling, jealousy engaged him in conversation for the first time. Even then, he could not see her face. However, in his soul, he knew what expression she was making as she gazed at him from the other side of that curtain of darkness. He knew what face Satella was looking at him with at that very moment. Love yourself more. She was surely gazing at him with a look of affection. This line fucking killed me, dog. Like, this entire chapter actually was the first thing in ReZero that genuinely made me cry. This part where it says, to prove that someone like him had worth, he had to keep struggling. And as he kept struggling to protect those precious things he had gained, he thought he had no choice but to walk an even lonelier path. I thought to myself, it's all others giving unto me. Is it all right for me to think it's not so? People will cry for my sake. People will lament their powerlessness for my sake. People wish to see the future with me together. Precious people will give me the privilege of standing and smiling at their side. Surely it was impossible for someone stubbornly walking a lonely path to the very end, as Subaru had been doing, to receive such a privilege. With a heart of steel, a mental state that swayed before nothing, he was disconnected from the softness that would have allowed him to smile. Then, was it all right to believe? This realization that Subaru has, that he actually matters, that there's people that care about him, that he cannot, he has to value himself more, it means so much to me as a reader. In my recent struggles with my mental health, I've had a lot of issues with valuing myself and learning to love myself. like, for the longest time, and it's hard to get past that, I've seen myself as this absolutely contemptible, inhuman being that is unworthy of any love unless I'm the one that's going through pain. This flagellatory attitude was really drilled into me because I felt like that was the only way that I could be worthy of any kind of affection. And seeing somebody writing about this halfway across the globe from a decade ago, telling me that they'd gone through the same exact pain that I had, it meant more to me than words can express. Like, genuinely, I cried thinking about this. It's so hard. It's so hard to accept that you mean something in this world, that there's people that actually care about you, that your existence is a good thing. Even if you don't have it in yourself to commit suicide, a person in a state like this can't live a normal life because in your mind you are of abnormally low value. So you suffer. You seek out as much pain as possible. You turn your days into a waking hell because as much as it torments you, as much as it pains you, that pain is proof that you're doing something worthwhile. Proof that you feel like you can't get anywhere else, but you can't keep living like that. It just slowly gnaws and eats at your soul. That kind of lifestyle will kill you, even if it doesn't actually kill you. You'll end up being a shadow of your former self. It's a horribly sad way to live. And yet, Subaru and myself find it hard to live in a way other than that. It meant a lot to me. The same thing happens in Arc 6 too, and I had a hard time keeping it together at that part. Reading that volume really convinced me that ReZero was something special to me. Like, it really meant a lot to me. Sorry. Moving on to Kasaneru. This is the greed if. This is what happens if Subaru accepts Beatrice's proposal and goes into a contract with her where he decides to use his life as a tool and just exploits it for whatever it's worth. He dies like 1,000,000 times in this arc, in this if story, because Echidna gets him to. The original side, so this is interesting. This is one of like 2 side stories along with Rem, this one, the Sloth one, where it has like a regular one and like an extended version that's like a full volume's worth. The regular version is like exactly okay. The extended version is like okay. The regular version is like really good. It's better than this if for sure. The extended version is like actually insanely good. Oh my god, it's so viscerally violent. The relationship that Subaru has with Echidna in this if is so disgusting and like gross and manipulative and codependent, but you just can't look away because it's so beautiful in its honesty. They know that they can't live without each other. They know that they need each other to accomplish their goals, and they've stopped looking for other ways to exist. It is fucking impeccably told. The standout scene in this is a scene where Subaru, like, it's told that Subaru has, like, really, because he's, like, constantly dying and can't get used to the trauma of dying, he's, constantly, how do I put this? He is, sorry, give me a second. Because he can't get used to the trauma of dying, Subaru becomes, like, really emotionally unstable. He gets, like, angry fits and stuff like that. And in one of these fits, when he's talking to Echidna in the Dream Palace, he, like, starts choking her out, killing, like breaking her neck, and then realizes what he's done, and he pukes on her corpse, and then she comes back to life, embraces him, and tells him that even if he's dirty like this, and that he's a detestable being, then that's okay, because she will still be there for him. That is fucking... Tape, you are an evil person for being able to write something like this, but goddamn if I don't respect you for that. It is damn good. Anybody that likes ReZero should be reading this. I'm gonna do something a little bit lighter because holy fuck, my throat is a little bit parched. And also I need to like re-regulate emotionally. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. I played this game a decent amount this year. I don't want to say middle range, but like it's good. It's good. Like the customization options in this game are fucking awesome. Like the way you can like draw every character's face on. Like there's a bunch of characters that I had a really good time drawing my characters into this game. But I mean that's pretty much about it. It's like a shipping. Like if you like shipping, I'm the shipping daughter. So like if you like shipping, you will fucking love Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Woman Beater Subaru. Yeah, that scene is the introduction and creation of the Woman Beater Subaru meme. Who's on your island? You know what? Let me boot this shit up. It's been like legitimately months. Just a little bit of a break. I just want to see who's on my island. I got a bunch of VN characters on this island. Tomodachi Life is the best for making crack pairs. That is fucking true. You'll see like House from House MD and like Madoka from Madoka Magica get together, and you're like, you know what? That's a ship that I now support. Like it's awesome. Okay, let's see. We got Beatrice and Battler, and we got 4 characters from Umineko here. Takumi and Eito from 100 Line. We've got Reen and Randy from Trails. Kanae and Kageaki from Muramasa. Date and Ryuki from AI the Somnium Files. Satsuki from Melty Blood. Don Quixote from, Limbus Company. Watcher from 1000X Resist. Me, Leo from Fire Emblem. Azura from Fire Emblem. Toko from, fucking Toko from Kata no Shoujo, and then we have Subaru and Daniel, of course, from ReZero. I will say, this Daniel me, like, I'm really happy with how I managed to make him look different from the regular Subaru. Like, this Subaru still has, like, the mean eyes, but, like, holy fuck. I love that. I think the one that I'm probably the most proud of... Probably the Kanae. I'm pretty happy with how I made her hair. Like, her hair came out pretty well, but that's about it. The Daniel is really good. Thank you. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. I got Aegis and Enkidu on my island, married on my island. Enkidu from Fate, Enkidu from the Epic of Gilgamesh, or Enkidu from Under Night. Anyways, let's talk about... Okay, this is gonna be one hell of a one to talk about. Let's talk about Kitanai, Kimi ga Ichiban Kawaii. This means the filthy you is the cutest. This is about these 2 girls that are in an abusive, codependent relationship with one another, and are like really fucked up about it. Like, it's like really violent. It's very violent, doomed Yuri. Kitanai, Kimi ga Ichiban Kawaii. Let's take a look. So, Airi and Hinako. So this is the blonde one is Hinako. The black-haired one is Airi. They're like really like possessive of each other. It starts off with like Hinako like convincing Airi to do a bunch of like bullshit, like a bunch of like really strange, fucked up, manipulative stuff. Like, she forces her into getting piercings, which she doesn't want. And, she, like, makes her piss herself and stuff like that. She dangles her out of a window, like, while choking her. Was this the foot one? This is not the foot one. This is the foot one. But that's the first act. The first act is pretty good. The second act is there's like a bunch of drama in the school about their the second act is a drama at their school about like them being like outed or whatever and like being fucked up over it. Like they're like they get outed and like they eventually run away at the end of Act 2. Act 3 is like 10 chapters of like the most depressing shit you've ever read. They run away, but like they can't let go of each other to any degree, and they're like super dependent on each other. They literally just they like get up, they take all the little money they have left over and just like fuck each other and like don't do anything, hang out in a hotel room and like just rot. One of them tries to get a job so they can make their money last longer, but the other one is like, I can't live without you. You need to be with me right now. And she's like, fine, that's what we'll do it. And then eventually they run out of money fully, and they go to a like a park, and it's like snowing, and one of them is like, I think that I'm ready. And the other one starts choking her out. I forget which one does it to whom. I think she's the one that kills her, because she's like, I want you to kill me right now. And then because I don't want to live in a world without you, and I know that if I stay like this, we are going to be separated. And she kills her, and then she also falls into the snow and then presumably dies in the cold. It's really good. Like, I mean, obviously it's like very disturbing, but goddamn, it is very like the struggles feel super real, man. Like, it feels like you're being written right. Feels like you're reading something that actually felt like it was written for a reason. It's also very like wish fulfillment, fetishy stuff, but nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna go get some water because my throat is killing me. Okay, we're back. This sounds right up my alley, Fury. I'm glad that I'm able to spread the good word of this series. I'm so glad my mic doesn't pick that up. Okay. This is Saihate. On the other side of the Yuri spectrum, we now have a yaoi that's also very much about that. Okay. This right here. Haru. This, Shion. Get used to them, because I'm going to be talking about them for a bit. Saihate Station starts off with Haru waking up on a train station that just looks wrong. Inside of a train that just looks fucking wrong. It's not moving, but the doors are locked. There's like blood stains all over the train. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like, it's very clear that something is going insanely wrong. He like wanders around for a bit and then meets up with Shion. Shion is his co-worker and a guy that Haru kind of has a crush on, but he won't really admit it, okay? That's the basic setup. these guys spend about 6 hours playing this game, walking through the station, learning about each of their pasts. Well, mostly Haru's past, actually. This features 90% on Haru, and the DLC Twilight Railway features on Xion. You spend this story walking through the station, learning about how Haru's like super depressed because he's kind of he's not as great at working as Xion is, so there's kind of some resentment there even. They kind of hate each other, but they love each other. There's a bunch of like really like Denpa ass stuff where they just start like dissociating like crazy. Turns out the Saihate station itself is a representation of their representation of Haru's psyche. And you learn by the end of the game, or rather you remember, that Xion is a fucking psychopath. Xion killed Haru's ex-girlfriend, the one that he was with, and his sister. He killed his own parents, and he did all this because he wanted to get with Haru, and he needed Haru. His relationship with Haru is really strange. I think that part of it is love. Part of it is also, he feels like he's a broken person, but he also feels like Haru is a more broken person than he is. So, he wants there to be somebody that he can be with, to like, sort of like feel a little bit better about himself. It's pretty fucked up. Anyways, there's a couple of different endings. There's the Het Slop ending, where Haru gets with, remembers the memory of Aoi, which is the girl, aka Xion's sister, and, they go back to the real world. There's the other ending where you go back to the real world, where he doesn't get with Aoi, and, he just sort of, like, chases after Xion, for, like, the rest of his life. Like, he looks for him, which is pretty compelling. The third ending is the knife ending, where they kill each other. It's very bloody. It's very brutal. The fourth ending, the true ending, is the one where, instead of confronting, I thought this was very interesting, because normally in a story like this, you would go, oh, our relationship is toxic, we should not indulge in our relationship. This game says, nah, buddy, the true ending, you're not gonna believe this, the true ending of Saihate Station is that Haru and Xion say, we are totally fucked, like, we can't go back into society because of what has happened. We're just gonna stick with each other forever in this Saihate Station, on this train, for the rest of time, until we die. Because it's like a metaphysical realm. They don't have any like food, water needs, or whatever, stuff like that. That's the true ending. A big thing I really like about this game is the art. Let me show you what this art looks like. This is from the DLC, but it's the same art style. Like, this is what the characters look like on the screen, and this is what the character portraits look like. But there's also like it's clearly very fetishy, because I need you to understand, this sprite shows up for this one scene where he throws up, and that's it. Nobody in their right mind would draw a Haru Akinashi puking sprite, but the author of Saihate Station did do that, because I think she knows that it's pretty erotic. This is not for people that are well adjusted. This is for people that are a little freaky, and you gotta accept that. Moving on to the DLC. The base game is free on Steam, by the way. So if you want to play it, it's literally free on Steam. Moving on to the DLC, Twilight Railway. This one is really introspective. First of all, the game is like a lot longer. This one actually costs like $6. It's a lot longer than the base game. There's a lot more shit to do. And it focuses more on Xion. How he came across Haru. How his relationship with Haru is. Why he feels that way about each other. And this one is interesting because the true ending of Twilight Railway is that Xion kills himself in the metaphysical realm, which removes him from Haru's life. because he realizes that he's a negative presence in Haru's life and he has to be erased. It's like incredibly sad. It is incredibly sad, and I'm telling you this right now, I was like genuinely crying for like 15 minutes straight when I played this. Let me see if I can fucking find the... Let me see if I can find the part. There's a scene where they meet each other as kids. Shion tries to stand in these train tracks so he can get killed because his family fucking sucks. And then Haru shows up and saves him. And he's like, I know your life is shit. My life is also shit. But I don't want to see you die. Let's live together. Let's like be with you. Let's promise that we'll be there for each other. And then it cuts back to the real world. And Shion realizes that he could have saved him if he was a better person, but he couldn't. So he eventually, like stabs himself and the game ends. And it's a very personal story about like his relationship with both his sister and his crush. Like it's just, I don't know how to put it other than it's like, give me a second. Aha, here we go. The way the author describes themselves is that they say, I like stories of men who suffer from living. That's a perfect way to describe this. These guys are suffering because they're living. This is Kino. I'm sorry. I was like genuinely crying for like this is one of those stories where like I started crying and then I stopped and then I calmed down and then I thought about it for a second and then I immediately started crying again. Like it was really sad. Like it got me, dude. The one thing I will say, this is a game that did actually need some sex scenes. High key, this game needed some sex scenes, but we'll talk about that later. Elusive Samurai. This is the most recent manga by Yusei Matsui, who wrote my favorite manga of all time, that being, of course, Assassination Classroom. Shit is not that good, gang. It tells the story of this guy who's not really good at fighting, but he's really good at running away. How he, like, does a bunch of shit across Japan in, like, a feudal time. And then eventually, like, his entire life is basically chronicled through it. I just feel like it's fun. Here's what I'll put it. It's fun, but it's not good. Like, I was really thinking this was going to be the next big wave, because I thought there would be like a big third act twist where it goes sicko mode. And it just doesn't. Ask class your favorite, and I'm taking your advice from the answer. What's your problem with Assassination Classroom? Assassination Classroom is literally... I can't imagine how a person could possibly have an issue with Assassination Classroom. It's good, but your favorite? Oh, that's mostly out of personal impact. If it was purely off of quality, my favorite manga would probably be, like Tokyo Ghoul Re or Steel Ball Run. Anyways, moving on, we have here ReZero Arc 5. This shit is really bad. I'm sorry. Like, I know this is gonna be controversial. ReZero Arc 5 is just not good. ReZero is not at its best when it's a shonen slop fighting series. Like, ReZero is about Subaru being tortured. Number 1. That happens a little bit in this arc, but not that much. Number 2. Subaru fucking hating himself. He's actually pretty well adjusted during this arc. Not that interesting. Number 3. The interplay in the world. This one actually, this arc does score fairly well on. Like, the in terms of, like, lore for the world, this arc's fairly reasonable. My issues with this arc can boil down to one very simple criticism. It just does not play to the strengths of ReZero in any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's there, I guess. Like, the fighting is okay, but, like, I don't like reading fights. The only fights I've ever read where I'm like, oh, this is kind of awesome, is the Wallachia fights where it's Garfield. All of the Garfield in Wallachia fights are fucking peak. Everything else in ReZero, like, the fights, I'm like, okay, I guess it's there. I think it's important to show that he's willing to have an imperfect loop, not abusing his return by death. That's fucking true. I will say, this arc is very good at showing that Subaru has grown as a person, and that, I think Arc 3, Subaru would have killed himself the second, like, Krush got taken or whatever. But I digress. This right here, slow damage. Okay. I don't know, have any of you guys played Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a pretty middling game, and then you get to the last, like, 3 hours of the game, you beat the champion, you beat the Team Star quest line, and they're like, oh, buddy, we're not done yet. Remember, you still have a third quest line, and they take you to Area 0. And what follows is, like, 2 to 3 hours of the greatest Pokemon ever put to cartridge. And by the time you beat that part of the game, and you beat the game, and you hit end credits, you almost get gaslit into thinking that maybe Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is better than mid. That's how I feel about Slow Damage. Slow Damage is a yaoi visual novel by Nitro Kiral. The reason I picked it is because it's like it's the highest rated yaoi visual novel that is translated. So I was like, okay, I want to try some out, so I read it. Slow Damage, like, if you just want to jerk off to these guys, Slow Damage has a lot of that. Like, if you are a freak that wants to see, like, and you're into, like, Edo Guro, you will love Slow Damage. I don't mind Edo Guro. I think that in ReZero, like, low-key, one of my takes is that ReZero is kind of Edo Guro. But you didn't hear that from me. You did not hear that from me. You heard that from somebody else. Slow Damage has 4 routes. You start off with access to 2 different routes. The first route is Taku, who is, like, a doctor, and, like, he's basically, like, your father figure, and then you, like, fuck him, and then you learn about his past and stuff like that. Basically, Slow Damage takes place in, like, a dystopian Japan, where, like, a specific district has been, like, become totally lawless because the economy thrived there, but didn't thrive anywhere else, so, like a Yakuza organization has control of the entire area, so it's, like, a total shithole. Taku route is pretty good. I don't know if you guys heard these songs playing earlier in the stream. This song right here. This is from Taku Route. The music in Taku Route, fucking crazy. The plot is fairly good. Second one, Ray Route. Ray is like a sort of effeminate guy who likes to fight. Basically, his dad has taken on a bunch of debt. And his dad's like a total piece of shit, and Ray has to start doing these, like, fights in order, like, to make money to pay off his debt. Through these fights, Ray has to confront his identity, because as a kid he was really girly and he was bullied for it. Now he's an adult, and he still has that, like, girly part of him, yada yada. Like, he, like, learns that he has to, like, accept that part of him, move on. The problem is the route doesn't fucking do anything. Like, that's the problem with the route. The route doesn't do anything. It's not interesting for the greater plot of Slow Damage. It's a fairly confused storyline. Not that good. Anyways, you finish those 2 routes, you unlock the 3rd route, Madarame. Here's what happens in the Madarame route. I'm going to tell you this verbatim. Madarame is like a character who's been mentioned like 4 times as like somebody from the main character's past. The main character of Slow Damage, Toa, is very interesting. He has very few memories of his youth. Like, he's been hurt a bunch in the past. He has this insane compulsion to fulfill people's twisted desires, which results in him, like being scarred all over and, like, hurt all over. Like, he's, like, super masochistic. But like, his character is only really explored in Taku route in a new way. Madarame route, let me tell you this. Madarame route is, you finish the first 2 chapters, which are part of the common route. No, the first chapter is part of the common route. You get information that Madarame is in town. You fuck around for a few days. You meet Madarame. Madarame captures you. There's, like, a bunch of dub-con, non-con shit for, like, 4 straight hours, 5 straight hours. There's like one scene where something happens, and then the route's done. It's fucking god-awful. Madarame really, he's not even an interesting character. Madarame is a walking, talking penis for the sake of Slow Damage's story. He's not interesting in any way, shape, or form. He's hot, I guess, but like, how he interacts with Toa and what he induces in Toa is not cool or interesting in any way, and the whole we fight each other thing is already explored in Rei's route because Rei also likes to fight. So it's like even repetitive. Shit is ass, dude. Shit is straight up ass. So you're at the end of Madarame route and you're like, oh my god, this Slow Damage game might be dog shit, gang. Like, I can't believe I played through this game and it was this bad. Like, the third route, the true route was this bad. You go to the title screen. I need to explain this to you. I need to massage this as much as possible. You go to the title screen. You say, man, that game sucked. And then suddenly, something appears on the title screen. A new button that you couldn't interact with before. You hover over it. It says, seek the truth. Seek the truth? What the fuck does that mean? I feel like I kind of understand what's going on here already. Like, it's fairly reasonable. You click on it out of curiosity, and it says, new game, uncover the true story. You're like, what the fuck? There's a true ending? You click on it, fade in from black, and what follows is like 15 hours of some of the best visual novel writing you've ever read in your life. Oh my god. The true ending of Slow Damage is absurdly good. Like, it is... The true ending of Slow Damage recontextualizes so much of the weird little plot points that you saw in the rest of the game. A bunch of characters that felt like they were kind of nothing characters get a bunch of screen time, and you get to, like, explore them a little bit more. It is fucking peak. That being said, the rest of the game kind of sucks, so I'm gonna put it in middle range. Excuse me. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Watched this yesterday with my little brother. And it's like the first movie I've ever seen my little brother with my little brother where he didn't fall asleep halfway through. I think this movie is actually like pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why, but I have somehow watched every single Spider-Man movie in theaters, including The Amazing Spider-Man. Actually, no, I didn't watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies in theaters because they came out before I was old, before I like moved to the US. In fact, when the second Miles Morales Spider-Man Spider-Verse animated movie came out, I was in India and I still managed to watch it. Like, I don't know, there's something about Spider-Man movies, apparently I just end up watching them. It's never been like on purpose, but until now, I guess, but like I've been watching them. In terms of the MCU, it's good. Like, the Punisher has a big role in this, but like I haven't watched the Daredevil TV series, so I feel like I don't really know too much about the Punisher. All I know is, oh, I liked it. Hell, I loved it. That's all I know about the Punisher. But the main plot line of Spider-Man Brand New Day is that, like, everybody's forgotten who he is, and he's kind of living as, like, a shell of his former self. And, the fact that he's, like, putting on, like, he's using his mask as a way to, like, stay detached from people. It's a classic, it's like Evangelion. It's basically, like, every single story does this. It's basically just a shonen, like an introspective shonen that's about how you need to care about your friends, and you need to not be isolated, and isolation will harm you a lot. There's one the antagonist is really interesting. There's one scene, like, throughout the story, the antagonist is like, oh, I'm looking for VMAX. My sister was captured by you guys, and she was looking for whatever VMAX was. And then she gets captured because Spider-Man thinks that she's a bad guy, and that, like, the people that capture her are trustworthy. They're not trustworthy. They're gonna, like, experiment with her until she fucking dies. She gets taken into, like, the torture chamber or whatever, and she looks up in despair, and there's, like, a vent on the ceiling, and the vent says Vent Max, and it's peeling off, so it says VMAX, and you realize that her sister was in such a broken mental state that all that she could transmit out was VMAX, because that's all that she could see. And then she goes sicko mode, like, controls, like, half the city, and, like, starts doing a bunch of bullshit. Like, it's very good. Have you had the Kojima review of Brand New Day? I have not. I'll check it out after stream. Okay. Let's talk about 12 Angry Men. Along with Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, 12 Angry Men was free on YouTube, so I decided to watch it. I hate to give it to the cinephiles I hate to give it to the cinephiles. I hate the cinephiles a lot. They're so pretentious, but goddamn is this movie good. Like, holy fuck is this movie good. Like you could watch this movie 3 times and not get tired of it, because the premise is that there's 12 guys on a jury. They're all white guys, and they're on trial for, like, the Puerto Rican kid's murder of his father. The evidence has made it seem like a foregone conclusion that the kid did murder his father. However, and almost every single one of them agrees that he's guilty, so they make a vote, and it's 11-1. Juror number 9 is the only one... Wait, juror number 7 is the only one that thinks that he's not guilty. And you go, oh, okay, they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, save us some time. This guy clearly killed it. And then he slowly starts dismantling the opposition argument one by one, bringing more and more people over to his side. He appeals to different kinds of things. He appeals to emotion, to evidence, authority. He does a bunch of different... like, schemes, or, like a bunch of different, like, demonstrative things. There's a bunch of really memorable moments, like where he slams the knife into the table, the rant that the racist guy has at the end before finally realizing that he's lost and just giving up. The final rant that juror number 3 has. Juror number 4, oh my god. Juror number 4 is, like, this smarmy wise guy who's, like, super smart or whatever. He's, like, super logical and shit. He's my favorite. He's, like, really dead set on this Puerto Rican kid killing his father. He's one of the last to give up. And, like, partway through the movie, he says, I don't sweat, because, like, they're in, like, a room that doesn't have a fan. The fan doesn't work. And so, the sweating, everybody's sweating, and juror number 4 is not sweating. They're like, they ask juror number 4, like, dude, how are you not sweating? And he's like, I just don't sweat. Later on in the movie, when juror number 7 finally corners him, you see a single sweat drop roll down his face. Like, that's my Sukuna versus Gojo. That's my Sukuna versus Gojo. I don't give a shit about this power scaling stuff. This is what real cinema is like. This is a damn good movie, and I will not accept any other criticism. ReZero Arc 6. For anybody that's read, watched, thought about, heard about ReZero Arc 6, you know this shit is peak. ReZero Arc 6 is the memory loss one, where Subaru goes to the tower to try to figure out how to save Rem's memory, and during it, he loses his memories. And Volume 1 Subaru is stuffed into Volume 23. It has to now face the malice of Volume 23 Tappei Nagatsuki. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Like, it sort of resets his character progress, but it's about him viewing his character development from a more objective lens. Some people could suggest that Arc 6 feels like a retread of Arc 4, because the main conflict is that Subaru feels like he's unlovable, and it doesn't make any sense. But it's less a sense of disbelief and more sense of distrust in Arc 6. The way that Subaru feels genuinely suspicious of how much everybody loves his pre-memory loss self is so sad to see. Like, he genuinely thinks that it's normal to be suspicious because he can't imagine a world in which he's loved. Do you realize how fucking sad this is? Fuck, that's my son, man. Most of this shit I was able to be like... Most of this shit with Arc 6, I'm able to be like... Most of ReZero is like, obviously, like, very much like Torture Subaru core, and I'm able to be like... We love to see it, folks. We love to see more Torture Subaru. Arc 6 genuinely, like, it hurt me, man. Like, I felt bad as... I felt really bad for Subaru. I don't want to say too much about it other than that, because, like, this is genuinely one of those things where, like, you should read it. You could genuinely... If you've never read ReZero right now, pick up ReZero Volume 23, read it, tell me what you think. I'm not joking. You don't need to read anything before then. Read Volume 23. Tell me what you think. This is Sugihagu, aka patching together life in another world from zero. This is the gluttony if. This is about what if Subaru is not able to properly gain his memories back and decides to do it in a more perverted manner and, like, sort of ruins the sanctity of his memories and starts just killing people. Should I wait for the second half of the season or try to learn how to read? Purple, you've already done Volume 23. Volume 23 is like, the volume right after Subaru loses his memories. So you're past Volume 23. Unk Subaru? This is not Unk Subaru. This is Unk Subaru. It's just Subaru with white hair. The way that... I cannot stress to you enough how fucking good this side story is. Oh my god. It's like, Subaru's like being tormented by the ghosts. Like, he genuinely, like, 90% of this is Subaru deluding himself about how happy he is because, he has these, like force ghosts in his brain talking to him of all the people that he's killed and read the books of. But, like, every now and then you can see the real Subaru peek through and just realize how fucking sad he is, man. Half of Arc 5 was really good. Memory loss is Arc 6, so I think I got your Arc's numbers mixed up. It's fine. My favorite... Okay. Admittedly, I'm a little biased. My favorite part about this arc is that, Subaru goes back to Pristella, and he asks his, like, force ghosts. He's like, hey, who should I kill first? Who's gonna be the most problematic? And every single one of them is like, you gotta fucking kill Otto, or you are going to be nuked off the face of this planet. Every single one. None of them saying a goddamn thing about Reinhard. They're like, fuck Reinhard, man. You need to be worried about Otto Suin. The sheer auto upscale in this side story is insane. Sokoaki Muramasa is going up here. Top 8 glazes auto like crazy. Good! Muramasa is, it's a dark fantasy mecha alternate history story about this guy, Minato Kageaki, who, is living in a post-World War II world where, except, in this world, they have mechs and stuff, but only Afro-Eurasia can create mechs, so the new world got fully colonized by Europe, and the Britain still has control over America, shit like that. Basically, this guy has a contract with this demon mech in the background, where he has to kill somebody. He feels like he needs to kill something because of some mistake he's done in the past. And the mech has a curse associated with it, and it demands the blood of the innocent. It's fucking peak. I have so few words, like, I can't explain to you, like, Muramasa is so, the character of Minato Kageaki, and how much he has to grow and accept himself as, like, an evildoer. Like, at the start, like, Kageaki is pretty, like, naive. Like, he feels like he's maybe able to, like, maybe he's, like, doing something because he has to. By the end, he accepts that he does evil because he feels that he has to. He has to kill. There's no such thing as justifiable murder. But Kageaki doesn't care about justifying it. He believes that he has to do it, and he does do it. He is the Full Metal Demon. I don't know how else to put it. Like, Muramasa is so fucking good, and I've talked so much at length in it that I've forgotten what to talk about it. I will say, here's what I'll give you. Muramasa is an eroge. Unlike the other eroge on this list, the sex scenes actually serve a purpose in the plot and or are good within the context of the plot. Really uncommon from Muramasa. Number 2, the OST fucking slaps, dude. The OST is crazy good. Number 3, the prose. Oh my god. You will read a sentence in Full Metal Demon Muramasa, and you will actually start nutting in your jeans, because it's written in such a beautiful manner. I did not give a shit about prose until I started reading Muramasa. It is so goddamn good. Last thing I feel like people don't give Muramasa enough credit for is that it's, first and foremost, a series designed to be, a game designed to be entertaining. A lot of these, like, uber serious media properties that are, like, super dark and twisted and stuff feel like they end up being too serious to, like, have, like, a moment of levity, or a moment where you just go, yes, this doesn't necessarily line up perfectly with, like, the tone that we're setting, but it's cool as shit. Muramasa really does take a lot of moments to make sure that it writes into the story stuff that's there because of the rule of cool. I fucking love that. I think that's really important. Anyways, that's the reason why I love Muramasa. I read this out of morbid curiosity. This is a series about this guy and, like, a kid that he's, like, that's, like, in love with him, and then they, like, get into a relationship. It's very clearly, like, Shota, it's, like, Shota slop. I don't like it that much, but, the general writing quality of the characters and stuff and the development is fairly reasonable. I read it because there was a big shit fit going on Twitter about it, and I was like, I want to see what the thing is about. Let's move on. This is So I'm a Spider, So What? I feel like this series has lost the plot so fucking hard in the third act. Like, the second that the spider gets, like, a human form, like, the plot just goes so fucking off the rails, it's insane, man. I feel like anytime I go back and try to read some of this, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing anymore? This is the one that's getting an anime? Yes, Shodaone is getting an anime. So I'm a Spider, So What is, like, it's okay. It's like, it's the genre of isekai that's, like, not satire, but is supposed to be kind of funny. Like, it's supposed to be comedy. It's fine. That being said, the author needs to fucking lock in and figure out what the fuck they're actually doing. Like, I can't tell whether this is supposed to be kind of like Tensuro, where it's kind of a comedy, or if it's where it's like, or it's like something that's just a little bit comedic. I just can't figure out the fucking tone of this because it's so inconsistently written. She gets reincarnated as a spider, and then she gets like an ability to like see about, like she makes friends with like, what is it? She makes friends. Wait a second. Okay, I think I might have misremembered. I thought this happened in Tensura. Turns out, in this series, it starts off with, like, the main character, like, absorbing a dragon or whatever, and then, gaining, like, their ability to, like, become stronger. And, this dragon is, like, a total pathetic, like, annoying asshole that, like, flaunts his superiority. And, like, he's in, like, a meta realm where he just sees a bunch of other shit. Like, he sees the main character's, like, memories and shit. Like, it's a fun time, but those are like side stories. That's not the main story, so I don't know how to think about it. Generally speaking, it's okay, but it's a little bad. Actually, I'll give it the middle range. It's not like terrible. Arc 7. People online, for some reason, think that Arc 7 is like a fucking affront to humanity. A lot of people hate Wallachia. Are you fucking stupid? Like, are we looking at the same arc? Like, Arc 8, I won't speak on right now. Arc 7 is fucking immaculate, dude. Are you insane? The struggle that Subaru has with his identity, gender, age, all that stuff, that's all explored in this arc. How do I put this? Arc 6, a lot of Arc 6 is about who is Subaru Natsuki. A lot of Arc 7 is about what is Subaru Natsuki. What does he mean to people? What kind of person is he? Like, what makes him who he is? What is his identity? How does he represent himself? How does he present himself to other people? And then also Todd Fang's in it. And oh my god, anytime Todd Fang is in something, holy fuck, it's so good. Todd shows up for legitimately, like, Todd is a character for 3.5 volumes out of the 9-phase Arc 7, and those are maybe some of the best volumes in ReZero, because Todd makes that shit work like crazy well. Todd leaves such a psychic toll on Subaru that it is still to this day in Arc 10, like, Subaru is like talking about how that motherfucker is a demon. It is so fun. Like, let's just paint the picture here. Volume 1 of Arc 7, like, Arc 7 Phase 1. Subaru's in the forest, he gets out of the forest. Todd wakes up after dying. He tries to talk to Todd. Todd realizes he's weird. Todd tries to kill him. Subaru escapes with, Rem. They go to the Shudrak. Shudrak burned the camp of the Wallachian Empire. Everybody goes to the, they all go, like, Subaru tries to go to Geralt to find somebody to get out, and then Todd, like, tries to kill him again, and then Subaru realizes that he has to get the fuck out of Dodge. That's one volume! That's one volume! Volume 2, Natsume Schwartz, Subaru turns into the hottest woman you've ever seen in your fucking life, infiltrates Geralt, along with Abel, who turns into also the hottest woman you've ever met in your life. They take over that place with a bloodless coup. You get to see Todd kills a bunch of people to take over Arakia. Oh, sorry. No, yeah, that happens too. You know, that is it. Volume 2, that happens, and then Priscilla and Al show up. Arakia shows up. They have to beat each other up. Todd escapes with Arakia, and you get to, like, there's like a side story there's like a mandatory side story at the end of this volume where you get to learn about Todd's mentality, and he genuinely, like, in the main story, the last thing that Todd says is that, like, he's a wife. That's the only thing he cares about in this world. His wife. His wife's brother is like, his brother-in-law is like his closest friend in the world. Like, he's like, goes everywhere with him. They work together, yada, yada, yada. Maybe they've explored each other's bodies. I'm not going to speak on that too much. He has an eye patch. This is important because Todd leaves this guy as a decoy so he can escape with one of the strongest people in the Empire that's been captured by Subaru and his gang, because Priscilla was there. And then he goes away, and then he goes away. And while he's walking away, the girl that he's rescuing also has an eye patch, and Todd looks at her eye patch and he thinks about Jamal, the guy he left behind, and he goes, wait a minute, which eye did he have an eye patch on? I don't know which eye he had an eye patch on. Oh well. And he moves on. Like, you can tell this guy's a fucking psychopath. Like, this guy is not sane in the slightest, dude. He is so... I feel like Todd has a lot of parallels to, Wrath if Subaru, but, like, he just doesn't trust humanity in any way, shape, or form. The only person he trusts is his wife. And that's partially because she's so weak, and partially because I think he does actually love her. Then there's also, oh my god, the Chaos Flame arc where they go to Chaos Flame. Subaru is a child. He gets put into a 10-second arc where he keeps getting killed over and over again, and his brain is like, they do age play in ReZero. There's an age regression arc, and you're telling me this is not the peak arc? Are you crazy? And they go to Jin and Hive. Jin and Hive is also probably the best part of Wallachia. Like, I'm sorry, there is no way you can convince me that an arc with Natsumi, Todd, what's it called? How do I put this? There's no way you can convince me that an arc that has Natsumi Schwartz, the Todd Fang situation, like twice in a row, move that into Chaos Flame, Jin and Hive, that ends with another Todd situation, is somehow bad. I will say, the second half, like the third act of Arc 7 is kind of shitty. Like, it's just a bunch of fights at the Capitol, which already happened. There's one really good fight with Garfield and Kathma, but, like, it's a little boring. Because, again, like I said, it's Arc 5 issue, but, I mean, it's like, it's not like Arc 4 is perfect. There's some plot lines in Arc 4 that just have no reason to exist. Like, the Frederica traitor plotline is, like, genuinely just takes up pages. Like, it just takes up pages. Like, it doesn't need to exist. Every time you see Wallachia, I think of Melty Blood. It's Volachia. Vollachia. But, yeah. Now, on the other hand... Oh, let's talk about this if. This if is just basically the exact same plot, except, Subaru, cross-dresses more. But the plot is really just not that interesting. I would actually have to put this in, like, god-awful. Like, this is a total waste of an if. I don't think it does anything interesting at all. If you haven't played Factorio, play Factorio. Oh my god. I don't know what Tensura is supposed to be. What the fuck is it even trying to do? Like, I don't understand its ethos in any way, shape, or form. It's like when I was reading, Mushoku Tensei before I gave up on it. I was trying to read it and I was like, oh wow, this world is really interesting. What the fuck is, what are you as the writer trying to tell me? If I can't understand what the writer's trying to tell me, I don't like it. I just don't like it. That's it. Like, that's it. I don't like Tensura. Like, the whole system doesn't really work for me. Like, I guess the main character's a femboy. I guess if that does something for you, go ahead. But, like, even I can't goon to this motherfucker, dog. It's just so boring. Okay, Coffin of Andy and Lele. I played this at first in, like, 2022, and I played it again today. I would say it's middle range. My problem with this in the visual novel slash, puzzle RPG genre is that I feel like Coffin of Andy and Lele is at its core an exploration of Andy and Ashley as characters. Andy and Ashley have this really fucked up codependent relationship that they kind of have to reckon with, and I think that it's interesting, and I think it's told reasonably well. However, it feels like it doesn't really change in any way, shape, or form. Their dynamic is always just Ashley is like obsessed with Andy, and Andy can't tell her to stop because her obsession with him is how he derives value from his own life, and so he can't tell her to stop, and he can't really find it in him to tell her no. Like, I get it, but fucking do something new, dog. Like, what are we talking about? Also, the puzzles suck ass. Oh my god, do the puzzles suck ass. The puzzles are not good, and the music's all, like, royalty-free RPG Maker shit. Like, I don't like it. This is the worst fucking Trails game I've ever played. This is the worst RPG I've ever played. And that means a lot because I played Octopath Traveler 1. This game not only is bad on its... it's not god-awful. It's just bad. This game is not only bad on its own merits, it actively makes the next game worse. Trails Through Daybreak 1 is like a pretty like a very solid game that sets up a bunch of characters and a bunch of plot points and locations. Trails Through Daybreak 2 is 40 hours of fucking around and doing nothing. Have you considered their mom is hot as fuck? She's dead! What do you want me to do? She's dead! Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think many Trails games are bad. This Trails game, I genuinely think has no redeeming qualities. Like, Trails Beyond the Horizon has a first act that feels super long because there's not enough shit in it. The first half of Trails Through Daybreak 2 actually has some shit to say, but because it got repurposed from Horizon and moved into Daybreak 2, it's ass. Like, I don't like, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. The entire plot of Daybreak 2 is that Van Arkwright sees everybody that he loves brutally murdered in front of him before dying, and then, like, he basically returns by death. And they don't discuss what effect that has on his mental state or anybody else's mental state, because they also kind of remember, at all. They don't discuss it at all. It's not even touched upon. It's not good. It's just not good. It's just not good. Legitimately, if this is like the best Trails game. This is the best Trails game we've had so far. If this game had the plot that this game stole from it, it would genuinely be like probably up here. Like, Trails Beyond the Horizon, I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. I'm genuinely not gonna tell you anything about it because first of all, there's so much context derived from like previous Trails games, so it's like hard to explain. But also, I'm just gonna let you know right now, this game is peak. And I need Horizon 2 in my bussy right now. 100 Line. Okay, so I didn't play all of 100 Line. I redid second scenario, peak. I did the slasher and SF. Pretty good. I would put 100 Line as a whole, probably like right here. What I played was like right here. Horizon 2 is going to be the greatest piece of art ever made. Let's hope, man. Let's hope they don't pull a CS4 on it. Because I do worry, because like there's a lot of plot points that need to get resolved in Horizon 2. And I worry that it's just going to take 8 years because they feel the need to dump a bunch of bullshit quests on us again. When it comes to second scenario, I don't think anybody has constructed a suicide bomb as effectively as the ending to second scenario. Like, you read that and you go, I need to kill myself, I need to kill myself, I need to kill myself, I need to kill myself. Like, you can't think about anything other than how you need to die right now. It is so fucking good. That being said, the route quality in this game varies greatly. Please, Ryukishi, I'm begging you, write a DLC route for 100 Line and I'll suck your dick, dog. I'm begging you. I really don't like this arc. I feel like it genuinely... This is like the Horizon 2 situation, where... How do I put this? Arc 7 ends with a fight in the capital. They're fighting in the capital. There's a bunch of fights in the capital. Like, okay, there's like a new threat now. You know what happens in Arc 8? They spend like a volume outside the capital. They go back to the capital and start fighting in the capital again. What happened? What happened? There's a few... Okay, it's not god-awful. It's like... It's really bad, though. Like... What happened, man? What happened? I feel like we lost the plot! Oh, there's like a few generational chapters in here. There's a chapter where Vincent and Subaru are like ideologically going against each other. Like ideologically fighting against each other, and they like they beat each other up because Subaru beats up Vincent the same way Otto beat him up. Skippable? Not skippable. Unfortunately, it's not skippable. It's 5 volumes of dog shit that you just kind of have to go through. But I think that it'll probably play better as an anime than it will as a web novel. Because a lot of the fights are interesting. There's a fight that Garfield has in this arc that is genuinely maybe the best fight in ReZero. Second best fight in ReZero history. Fourth best fight in ReZero history. It is so fucking good. It's unfathomably strong, like as a standalone fight. 5 volumes. 5 volumes. You need to understand that. How do I put this? 5 volumes is like. 5 volumes is about the same length as like Arc 6. The longest arcs by far are Arc 7, which is Arc 9, which is 9 volumes, insanely long. Then it's Arc 6, which is Arc 4, which is 6 volumes. And then I believe there's 2 arcs that are 5 volumes long each. Oh no, 3 arcs that are 5 volumes long each. This is Saihate ni Madou. This is like a character haunting the narrative story about like a guy and a younger girl who have to deal with the fact that like one of their loved ones died and they have to live in the world after that. There's one really touching scene in here about how they both just assume that she hates them because of how her life was shitty, and then like her ghost shows up and tells them that she loves them, and then they start crying, and I almost started crying. Bro said best fight for a second, and I side-eyed my second monitor like bro was here. Like, no, it's not the best fight. Best fight's in Arc 9, which we will talk about, but it's a good fight. I think the tier list goes like, the fight in Arc 9 that I'm going to talk about. Regulus is like a good fight. Garfield Heinkel versus the dragon in Arc 8. The White Whale. Probably something like that. Like, I don't care too much about fights. I'm not counting Chaos Flame or Jeanne as fights. Those weren't fights. Those were fucking train wrecks. I would say it's middle range. It's not that crazy. It's fairly short though. It's a decent read. It explores the concept of grief fairly realistically. I don't hate it. Cyanotype. This is actually the first thing that I ever read fully in Japanese. It's really good, man. I just think Cyanotype is like just really good. The music in Cyanotype is banger after banger after banger after banger. Cyanotype is legitimately like 10 hours long and like 12 songs, and I have like a fourth of the OST on my playlist because it's so fucking good. Oh my god, it's so good. It's very like quintessential Denpa. Where like I just think that it's the writing of Fuminori as a character and Koji as a character, Saya, how they relate to each other in the world, and the nurse girl Shoko. Oh my god, she carries the story. Anytime she's on the screen, she steals the screen, your attention. She is so fucking engaging. It's a very small cast, and it really does make it work. I feel like. The eroge scenes are like, whatever, but there's only like one eroge, like, there's only like a few of them on there, and most of them are like plot relevant, so I don't hate it. If you want to try out visual novels and you're okay with being disturbed, Cyanotype is a great pick. It's like 8 hours long, available on fucking every single platform. I finished it in 15 hours, and I was reading it in Japanese. I need to think about this. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's going up here. It's going up here. Oh my god. I feel like I am taking crazy pills when I hear people talk about Arc 9. Are you fucking stupid? Like, anytime I hear somebody talk about Arc 9 and they're like, oh, it doesn't matter, I want to actually go to their house and kiss them on the lips and tell them that it's going to be alright. Because, dog, there is no way that you're doing okay if you're able to have that kind of memory about this. Like, Respectfully, like, I know, if you've gone to Arc 9, I don't think that you're doing a bad faith interpretation of ReZero. I just feel like you've missed the plot somewhere. Arc 9 is like, I'll give you the basics, okay? Arc 9 is Al from the Priscilla faction, from Volume 1 of ReZero, from Arc 3 of ReZero, the guy in the mask. He goes rogue. He kidnaps Subaru, puts him into the cum box, like, he puts him into, like a special prison, and he goes rogue. He's now the enemy of all of Lagunica. This now follows him trying to go to Kataragi and dump Subaru into a geyser to presumably get rid of him forever. All I have to do is say Arcanine doesn't matter for Lag to kiss me on the lips. I'm not a good kisser. I need you to understand, I'm not a good kisser. So, like, you don't want me to kiss you, so, like, respectfully. Anyways, Arc 9 is... It's peak. I don't know what to tell you. Arc 9, the basic concept of Arc 9 is that it's a bad ending arc. It's like if you took an if story and you extrapolated it for the entire arc. And what happens is at the end of the arc, Subaru gets out of the prison, dies, and gets transported way the fuck back to the start of Arc 9. And now every single Tom, Dick, and Harry is like, oh my god, Arc 9 doesn't matter. Literally, everything got taken back. Are you fucking stupid? What are you talking about? ReZero's a meta-narrative. You're reading it. It matters to you, the reader. Do you really think that without Arc 9, any of us would give as much of a shit about Petra as we do now? Do you really think we'd like Heinkel if we didn't read Arc 9? Like, are you insane? Like, it is so fucking incredibly... Like, the quality of Arc 9 is leagues better than most of ReZero, man. And most of ReZero is fucking crazy good. Like, it's insanely good. This is 8 volumes that I feel like are not that great, that still have some crazy good standout moments in them. And this is like... This is probably 3 standard deviations above the average work of art. Like, oh my fucking god, it's so good. The character development that happens in this arc, both diegetically and on a meta level, is absurd. Like, I'm sorry, you just wouldn't care about these characters the same way unless you read Arc 9. You can't skip Arc 9. You literally can't skip Arc 9 because it matters so much to you as a reader. Why else do you think Subaru doesn't get to see Emilia's trials, where she gets to do the future trial? Why do you think he doesn't get to see that? Might as well not have happened, right? Because Emilia also forgets it. You're the only one that sees it, so what's the problem? It doesn't matter. Why? Come on. What does it matter if all the other POV character chapters where it's not Subaru? That doesn't matter, right? Because it didn't actually happen. Like, all that shit didn't happen because it got, like, reset. That doesn't matter. You know, like, I just feel like we're being insanely disingenuous about this, right? Like, not gonna lie, I don't think I'd not mind not having Super 4 Holic. That's the thing, right? Okay. The crazy gamble that happens is that you don't have Subaru for the entirety of Arc 9. And ReZero revolves around Subaru. ReZero is nothing without Subaru. Or is it? Tape constantly challenges himself as a writer and you as a reader. This is the most recent challenge by asking you, do you really care? Do you really think, would you still like ReZero if Subaru wasn't there? And the answer is fucking yes, because it's great! Like, seeing how the characters react to Subaru being gone is so fucking good. Otto, man, you just need to tell Subaru you love him already. Like, the type of shit Otto does for Subaru in Arc 9, when he realizes Subaru's gone, you're gay! Just accept it! Oh my god! Like, I love you, Otto. You would not do that kind of shit for Garfield. You would not do that kind of shit for Emilia. You would only do that kind of shit for Subaru. Be realistic. I love Emilia. It's not like Emilia focused though. It's Petra focused. Like, the main character, the POV characters are the important characters. I would say are Petra, Al, Heinkel. I think those are the 3 big ones. And then, like, Rem and Emilia get a decent amount of character development. Like, I would not like Heinkel as much if it wasn't for this arc. By the end of Arc 8, I was already kind of starting to like Heinkel as a character. Now, I'm, like, locked the fuck in for Arc 10 Heinkel. Sasageru. Okay, this is the side story for Arc 9. It's the most recent side story. This is a side story about... This is like a post-bad ending side story. You can't say Arc 9 when Arc 10 is currently ongoing and Otto's pulling crazy moves for Subaru. Sort of, but that's, like, arguable, right? Like, he's just doing it for the Emilia camp. For Arc 9 specifically, it was for specifically Subaru. Arc 9, this is the Arc 9 side story. This is what happens if they don't, if Petra doesn't manage to successfully restart the timeline, and instead, Subaru gets trapped in the geyser, and he gets brought back 400 years after being put in the geyser, alongside Beatrice, who's also with him. And it's about him surviving in the life after everything in ReZero is done. Like, Wallachia has taken over every country except for Gusteko. Petra's, like, all grown up, and she's, like, a witch now, and she's, like, super unemotional and shit, and she's all fucked up and stuff. I feel so bad for her. Otto and Julius, these guys are generational yearners. I need you to understand, Otto realized that he would not be able to see Subaru again, so he marries a woman, has a kid, and puts forth a 400-year master plan to rescue Subaru. Do you realize, like, the person that, the people that rescue Subaru are one of Julius's spirits, who's now turned into a great spirit, one of Otto's descendants, and, like, some people from Wallachia. Like, it's insane how much Otto is doing for this guy. This is, like, one of those insanely, like, very quaint and, like, sad but, like, hopeful side stories. Like, I believe that this Subaru would be able to make it. I think he would be able to achieve a good ending. Despite him losing a lot, I don't think Subaru's the kind of guy to give up because of this. I think he'd be able to make it. It's just, it's sad and quaint. It's not Castaneru level. It's not Castaneru level, but it's, like, right up here. Slay the Spire 2, I mean, it's astounding. Like, I don't like the way this game is balanced to some degree. I feel like there's a few too many infinites in it, but, whatever. It's fine. Game's fun. Game's fun. Why only the femboys go for Subaru? Reinhardt is not a femboy, and Reinhardt is really into Subaru as well, to some degree. Also, like, I feel like a lot of the characters with agency are, like, a lot of the male characters with agency are presented as some level of feminine in ReZero. Kono game wa sonzai shinai. This game is not real. This is made by the same person that made Saihate Station. This is actually an eroge. Like, you actually get to see these guys fuck. It's about this guy who's a game developer and his game developer, quote-unquote, boyfriend. Like, it's a whole situation. And how they are in a codependent relationship where, like, they kind of both resent each other. This guy, pink guy, only sees main character here, the blue guy, only likes the main character because he feels like, pink guy feels like he hasn't suffered a lot in his life, and that to make a game, you need to be able to suffer. And he uses the blue guy's suffering in order to make games. And he, like, uses him in that way. Whereas the blue guy just fucking needs the, like, uses the pink guy, basically. Can I just say, the pink guy's the top in this relationship, which is outrageous. I'm just gonna say it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I would say it's, like, middle range. Now, admittedly, I probably missed a ton of the subtext because I read this in Japanese, and my Japanese is not that strong. That being said, when it comes back in English, I'll reread it again, and we'll see how I feel about it. I would say, content warning, sexual assault, self-harm, gore, blood, stuff like that. Just, like, you know, if you're gonna read this, be careful about that stuff. This game is locked up in my fucking brain. This game is, it's rent-free, lives in my head. Virtue's Last Reward is, like, anytime I think about, like, what my ideal mystery is, I'm like, oh, it's VLR. Umineko is more than a mystery. Like, it's a lot more than a mystery. But, like, if it's just, like, pure mystery, it's VLR. Who's in Subaru's reverse harem? It's like Abel, Julius, Reinhard, Otto. That's about it. Oh, and Daniel, aka Subaru without his memories. Let's move on to Zato. This is Zato, I Love the World and Everything in It. This is a Russian visual novel translated to English. It's about a story set in the USSR in 1986 about this main, what's her name, Asya, one of her friends, and classmates, Ira, goes missing, and she wants to find her. I just finished this story today, and it barely got me to cry. It was like I was so close to keeping it together, I just couldn't keep it together. Let me read some of my review of this. Zato is a true new entry into the Denpa canon, the likes of which I never thought I'd be able to see in my lifetime. It's depressingly bleak story of misfits in an authoritarian regime trying to just subsist off the small grace they get is very familiar to anybody who's finding themselves living a sham of a life, struggling to just keep moving. However, it's in its ability to provide meaning through this overly hostile, cold, dark, and dreary atmosphere that makes it truly meaningful. The world of Vorkuta 5 is not a welcoming one. It's not a hopeful one. It's not a kind one. Yet Asya loves it nonetheless. She loves the world she lives in because it gave her everything. She's thankful for it beyond what any one person could possibly imagine. It's hard. It's not easy to love a world that does nothing but hurt you. It's hard to love a world that does nothing but hurt you. It's far simpler to cry out, hate it, and try to rebel against it. Asya has every right to do such a thing, and nobody would truly begrudge her, and yet she doesn't. She continues to love it. How can she be so kind? How is she so magnanimous? And how can she continue to hate herself despite it? Isn't that so fucking sad? Like when the second round in this game, when the second act resolves, and you as the player realize that the cast is not long for the world, and that they're going to disappear soon, and that you don't have much time to spend with them. It's a sobering realization, but like if you wanted to, or you weren't like reading too deeply into it, you could probably dismiss it. However, right after this, as the characters slowly start like dematerializing with time, like there's a scene where Asya's hanging out with Marina and Vadim, and Vadim like pranks Marina a little bit, and she sort of responds, but she's like mostly vegetative, and that really hit me so fucking hard. It's such an overtly sad story. Like Asya, she doesn't get to meet with the Ira that she wanted to. She doesn't get to live out her life. She doesn't get to have a truly happy school life. But it's impossible to walk away from Zato feeling anything but like a subdued hope. Because there's no point in making yourself suffer. Zato shows you that there's more to life than just surviving. That even in the worst situations with our fate of foregone conclusion and annihilation knocking at our front doors, there's no reason to give up. You have to live, not just survive. It's something everybody wants to do, but many of us have given up on it after being beaten down and ridiculed for trying. I'm tired of just surviving. I want to live. I want to love. I want to make sure that which I love knows that I love it. I want to transmit my message to the world. Funny thing about this review, while I was writing it, as I started writing it, I wasn't particularly emotional, but by the time I finished writing it, I was crying. Like it got me, man. Probably like right there. Probably this is good. Okay. Next up. You know what? Let's do Chainsaw Man. Really bad. The ending was just not good. I think we all know this. It just feels... The idea of Denji needing to have a good ending and acquiring it through Pochita killing himself because Pochita's the reason Genji can't have a normal life. That's fine. That being said... You know, like... It's so abrupt. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. I don't like it. It's just not good. I think everybody can agree it's not good. I don't think it's god-awful, but it's really bad. I feel like it kind of misses the point. Slime Feet. This is a visual novel I was recommended by someone. It's like 45 minutes long. It starts off with this girl in the Arctic or whatever, and she gets like frozen up. Not frozen up. She encounters like some kind of bacteria that slowly like dissolves her feet and makes them like jelly. And then she gets back, she gets put into quarantine, and then the rest of the game is told through her messages, the messages between her and like her girlfriend, basically. It's very fetishy. It's like very, very fetishy. Like it's all about foot fetish. It kind of fetishizes the concept of being a lesbian. It also kind of fetishizes the fact that one of the characters is a trans woman. But it's written by a person of color, trans woman that's into feet. So I'm like, fucking whatever, dog. Like you gotta write what you gotta write. That being said, like I'm not into much of this shit. So like it doesn't really, it doesn't really read well on my end. Like I don't really get it. I would say it's like middling. It's heartfelt. It knows what it's trying to write. I feel like it's decent, but like at the end of the day, I can't be like, this is like crazy. This is the work of art. Like no, like the music is all like copyright free. The visuals aren't there. There's like no portraits or anything. There's like spelling errors everywhere. It's written in British English, so that's whatever. But like outside of that, there's like literally spelling errors where they just spell it whatever. There's literally spelling errors where they spell words wrong, and I don't like that. Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi is the potential man of Shonen Jump, but I mean that in an endearing way. I would say Kagurabachi right now is good, but it has room to be promoted from this. You know what? Let's put this in a little bad tier. The fact that you put it the fact that you put it that high shows your classic. Yeah, I mean, I can respect the artistry. It's just like I'm not into it. Megumi the potential man. Yeah, no. But like it's a potential man in the way that it's actually like could be good. Like it's not just gonna be doomed to be bad. Like we are right on the cusp of deciding whether Kagurabachi is gonna be a fucking generational shonen or simply like decent. This next arc is gonna decide everything. Kagurabachi is good, man. If you're into shonen, try it out. It's like 100 chapters long right now. It's fairly good. I was on Kagurabachi since day one, so like I get to claim. So far, Arc 10 has been fucking great. It focuses on Krush, a character that's very interesting and did not get much time in the previous arcs. Capella, who is the Sin Archbishop of Lust. Obviously Subaru's back in action. There's a new character in the cast that's like based on the church. The one thing I don't like about this arc so far is that it includes characters from the fucking visual novel game, and I haven't played that, so like I don't know who the fuck they are, but I guess we'll live with that. And also Heinkel. Heinkel is like a really big focus. Like the last 2 chapters have been about Heinkel. Really interested in seeing where this goes. I really hope that Heinkel's wife comes back and she realizes what he's done to get to her and she like gives up on him. Because that's kind of foreshadowed in Arc 9. Ever 17 is like the beta version of Virtue's Last Reward, I would say. I'd say it's astounding, honestly. Like, I really fucking like Ever 17. Ever 17 is great, dude. Ever 17 is so fucking good, it's unreal. It's just another one of those mindfuck mysteries that Uchikoshi writes that, like, fucks with you. Like, you read it and you're like... The best thing about Uchikoshi is that the 3 hours before you get onto the final bit of the game that actually tells you what the fuck is going on is like actually an out-of-body experience. Because you have like theories from 20 to 30 hours of gameplay like swirling around in your head. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Is Sigma a robot? Is Sigma old? Who's the robot? Is there even a robot? Is the robot thing a red herring? When is this taking place? Where is this taking place? Why is this taking place? Who made this? Like, and for what reason? I'm talking about Virtue's Last Reward, but a lot of this kind of stuff applies to Ever 17 as well. Like, it's just a very, very fascinating case study in being able to write compelling red herrings. Like, try an Uchikoshi game. Genuinely. Try an AI The Somnium Files, AI Nirvana Initiative, Virtue's Last Reward, and 999, Ever 17. Try one of these games. You will get to the final act of the game, and your brain will be fucking mush, but it'll be ecstasy, man. It'll be ecstasy, because you, like, as somebody that likes theorizing about what's going on in the game, it appeals to me so much. I fucking love it. Wow, so that was 3.5 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Send me some money if you want. I'll see you guys next time. See ya! I'll do another one of these at the end of the year, so